And what's sad is I still do the jokes every now and then. Like, the other night I was like, hey guys, did I tell you about the time I overdosed on Viagra? And they're like, what? And I'm like, hardest day of my life. I mean, I still tell stupid dad jokes. Try to make my wife laugh with them, and she just, usually rolls her eyes. And then, like, I'll, like, show her something that someone else says, and she'll laugh at it. And I'm like, really?
Well, sorry, that was a decent joke, man, but you got another one?
Oh, I probably have tons of them. That was the last one I heard that, like, made me actually laugh.
Right.
I'm sure I have some floating around somewhere.
I just want to see if you still got it, man.
Like, why did the guy name his dog Rolex and Timex? They are watchdogs.
Yeah. Oh, that was good, man. Nice.
I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. I got tired of being judged for going bald, so I went out and bought a cheap wig. It was a small price to pay.
Yeah.
Guardian down.
What's up, everybody, and thanks for hanging out with us today. Welcome to episode 104 of Guardian Downcast. We're a couple dads that love all things in the Destiny universe, and we talk about it. We also interview content creators and community members to find out more about them. We're the show that celebrates our past guests of the show. I'm your host, the Gatr, and my co-host Hazel is here as well. How's life been, man?
Damn warlocks. Sorry. No, I'm sorry.
You're not playing. You're not
that I'm playing or
no,
anything,
of course.
I was trying to find a gun, and it was on my warlock of all places. I was like, "What the hell is it doing there?"
Because you've been playing a warlock.
I maybe, and maybe I've been having actually fun playing warlock.
See,
it's not as much fun as being hunter, but anyway. Life this week, man. Hell if I know, man. It happened. This week went by pretty quick.
It did.
Looking forward to this weekend, actually.
How's that?
Pokemon Go Fest is this weekend. So me and the fam, we're going to go check out my niece-in-law. I don't know if that's a thing. But she races go-karts. So she's got I think a 4-cylinder engine that she's going to be racing in.
Really?
And
that's pretty cool.
So once we do that, then we're going to go on tour and Bufu, Ohio, and try to, catch some Pokemon and spend some quality time outdoors and stuff like that.
That's going to be fun, man. Family deal. Yeah. That's cool. Good way to spend the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And I have no idea what the hell else happened this week. I'm sure something did. What about you, man? I'm
sure we'll get into it later. It's been a good week. Very rainy again. It finally dried out today. Weather report. That's for you, Elmer Fudd. Let's see. 79 right now. Nice and clear skies tonight. Beautiful night. Took a walk. Took the dogs out. Really nice night. Yeah, it's been a busy week for me for Destiny. So we'll like I said, we'll get into that later. But, this week, we have a guest that was on our show back on episode 50 of June of 2020, right at the beginning of the worldwide pandemic, if you remember, and we can't wait to catch up with him. He's also a co-host of the Distinguished Gentleman podcast, and honestly, was our inspiration to start our podcast over 2 years ago. It's Mr. Baroquereaper, a.k.a. Barbecue. Hey, man. How you been?
How's it going? I'm doing good. I live in my basement nowadays,
Do you live in your basement? Young kids?
Oh, well, I work from my office in my basement, and
gotcha.
I game in my basement, and I do my hobby in my basement, so I, spend a lot of time in my basement.
If we had basements, I would be in it, but it's just an office for me. All single story. If we dig 1 foot in Florida, we hit water, so there's no basements here. I just want to mention, if you guys want to go back and hear Mr. Barbecue's story here, I will post the link in our show notes from episode 50. And it's a pretty cool story. And we'll touch on it again tonight when we catch up. But just to preview what's coming on the show tonight. First, of course, we're going to catch up with Barbecue, see what's new, how his life's going since he was here last. Next, we're going to test his Twitch reflexes in our new and further improved Fast Fire segment we call the Speed Run. Then Hazel is going to go over the latest news. No, you're not. Then Hazel is going to go over the latest news from Bungie. It's an editing thing. You'll figure it out. Okay. Then Hazel's going to go over the latest news from Bungie, i.e. the TWAB, for this 10th week of Season of the Splicer. Did I get that right? I think I got it right this time. Next, we'll answer questions from our community and add 2 songs each to our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify and iTunes. Oh, and yeah, we might talk some Destiny as well. All right, fellas, what do you say? Ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hey, thanks for listening to Guardian Downcast. You can find us on Twitter at Guardian_D_cast.
Or, you can find us on Instagram at Guardian_Down_cast and see what pics our weekly guests want to share with you.
Or Hazel, just visit our website at GuardianDowncast.com for all the contact information and where else you want to find us. And you can also play any past episodes you like in any order you like, right from your browser.
Don't you or me, man. Anyway, so hey, Guardians, check us out, and later, Guardians.
Toddles.
Hey, that's my line, man.
So Barbecue. Hey, man.
Yes.
I was, we were talking with some of our prior guests, and your name came up, I think, that we had, I don't know if we had similar music taste, or maybe I have weird picks like you used to have when doing Dad's Tales. But man, I miss you, man. It's been too long. I know it's been a year now, I guess. But
yeah,
how you been, man? How's life treating you right now? And any home improvements or anything changing in your house situation right now?
My life is always home improvements as of late. So far this year, I put in 23 tons of rock around my house, which required taking out a few different areas of lawn because we decided I don't want to deal with it anymore.
You're zero-scaping. That's cool, man. Yeah.
It was not necessarily that. It was just like our side yard and the front yard was like always weed, and no matter what we did, the grass was not going to grow there. So we took it all out and I put in rock.
Yeah.
And then I took out my mow strip because I thought it was stupid.
What state are you in again?
Utah.
Oh, you're
so as you guys were talking about weather, it's nice and clear. I'm like, I wish. I'm living in a bowl of smoke from Idaho and California and Colorado from all their wildfires, and since the valley of Utah is pretty much a bowl, all that smoke kind of comes in, and then I just get to live in nice orangey brown skies.
Oh man, yeah. All Thumbs in our Discord was showing pics. It was across the river from where he lives. It was 1,000 acres already had burned. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, in Washington State.
Yeah, he's in Washington State. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's all that. But yeah, so far we've done that. We are getting a new washer and dryer, and so I had started by finding some cabinets online from someone selling them for like $20. Was going to take out the shelf that was in our laundry room, and I painted those for my wife the color she wanted that we found. And then I broke my wrist, so I never got to finish that project.
How did that happen?
No.
My wrist is better now, but our dryer not long ago decided it was going to start squeaking the squeak of death, and we're like, all right, I guess that means new ones of those, which is fine because we bought those, cheap years ago just to kind of make it till now, apparently. But since those are coming, we were like, well, let's just redo that now. So I was up till like 11:30 last night laying flooring after my wife had painted during the day. And then today after work, I went up and did the base, started to do the baseboard, hang the cabinets.
Right. Now, wait a minute. You said you broke your wrist. Were you polishing the Sparrow? You see what I did there?
No, I was not buffing the Sparrow.
Okay.
Or summoning the dragons.
Rooking the knight, or the bishop, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a It was actually from those cabinets. So my wife was trying to help and she sanded them, but she used the wrong grit by like a lot. And basically the nice finish I had on them had scratched it all up. And then the kids had made a mess of the house and this. And then I got really mad and then I kind of hit a wall and
it didn't fix the wall.
I still have to fix the wall.
I've been there, man. Home improvement really tests your patience.
So, well, it was just, everything adding up, but like, the part of the wall I hit actually isn't even that bad of a problem because when they finished my basement, the back half, where my hallway goes is not where it should have ended. It's actually short for the wall that would block off all the, like the water heater and the furnace.
Yeah, I follow.
So I have to rip out that wall anyway to fix the drywall, so it kind of works out.
Yeah, early demolition. No big deal, man.
Yeah, I just did it with my hand and, it just kind of broke a bone.
Yeah, but the drywall will be easy to pull now. You got a grab bar. You got a grab hole to pull it. Did you say 23 tons of rock?
Yeah, 23.38 tons of rock.
Just so people know, a full pallet of sod weighs 1 ton. That's 2,000 pounds. 23 tons of rock.
Mm-hmm.
How many dunks?
So
that's crazy, man.
I rented a skid steer for 4 hours and got that all put into place.
Oh my God.
But basically it's my front yard, my side yard, the mow strip, the flower bed, and then in the backyard it's basically where my fire pit is all the way down in front of like my side yard to my shed, and then it's going to cover the backyard. So the back like strip. It was a long 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remember you talking about getting the new house at the end of Dad Tales.
Yes.
You were talking about making the move and stuff. Yeah, man.
Yep, and now I've been here over 2 years, and I have done a lot of remodeling. Like, the office I sit in right now used to just be an old bedroom that was white, and now it's completely different. Has has a nice, hardwood floor in it.
Very nice, dude.
My bedroom's been remodeled since, we just keep fixing stuff up.
Yeah, you have to update the house. You have to update it. It makes it easier to sell when you decide to sell, too.
I'm not.
I was going to say.
You're not moving? Early. I'm not moving ever?
I'm not moving. Not only that, like, just jokingly, you look around every now and then when you're in a house and look around. Well, Utah, there's a housing shortage. And they can't build enough. And my house, I live out in a small town that is being built up now. So my house value is just jumping leaps and bounds.
Skyrocketing. Yeah.
But if I were to leave my house, even if I sold it, right now it looks like I could afford to move from my big, nice house to maybe a nicer townhome.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Wow.
That's that crazy, huh?
Yes.
That is nuts.
And I would have to also compete with a bunch of people to try and buy a house because it's that competitive.
Yeah, it's same in here. Same here in Florida. I don't know if it's that way in Ohio, Hazel, but there's like a 3-month supply of housing in Florida. They can't build them fast enough.
Yeah, we're looking at like moving around here, but every house that goes up, it sells within 3 days. So
I was talking. I got a realtor friend who says if it's under $300,000, it sells within hours. Now I have clients who are selling higher price houses that aren't selling them quite as fast, but yeah, houses don't last very long right now.
Yeah,
right now I think they say that you get between 10 and 15% above asking price around here because that's how much people need houses.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is here too. I mean, like we've done some upgrades to our place too, and it's like one person saw it and they're like, "Oh wow!" They're like, you could make a ton of money off of this. I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And then they showed us like some comps and things like that. I'm like, "Ooh."
Yeah, that's like the neighbor across the street just sold his house. I'm like, I knew he was going to move, and like, so it's like 3 months of him just always working on the house.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure everyone thinks we're selling our house too because I'm always working on our house. It's just I don't do good with sitting around, and since I've been stuck home, I really want to change stuff.
And you work from home, right? You're in cybersecurity, I think, was it?
Yeah, I work infrastructure for my company, but they've been working from home since March of last year.
You think they're going to go back, or you think they're going to modify it to?
We are. We're starting in August our modified pilot program to test this, even though they've had a year of data of us working out of our houses.
Mm-hmm.
And my team is going back a whopping 1 day a week.
Really?
So I have to wake up and actually, look like a real person in real, business clothes 1 day a week and drive up to my office.
You can do it. You can do it, barbecue.
Oh, I'm sure I can, except like my computer monitors are all here now because I brought home my 2 4K monitors from work.
Right.
So, I'll have a diminished work thing up there, but it's only 1 day a week, so I don't care.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That is crazy, man. Well, I'm glad to know you're doing good. Besides your hand, anyway.
It's better now. I mean, I just have a small scar from where they put a screw in. So, I had to pay a lot of money to get screwed. And it wasn't as,
as much fun.
Was it
as much fun as
it wasn't as fun as it sounded yet. Damn it, you beat me to
it. But I mean, it is kind of amazing. They put you in, they do it. They're like, yeah, we take an x-ray, we put the screw in, and I come out and it's like, at least I'm going to get some cool pain pills. Nah, I got Tylenol. Extra strength Tylenol, sorry,
Oh.
Ooh.
I got the good stuff,
Yeah. Don't sell those on the street corner.
Yeah.
And don't crush them up either. They don't work as good because they're good.
Which was funny because the ones we got from the pharmacy weren't as good as like the fast acting ones we got from like Target.
Really? Formulations
that sounds
are
about right.
Yeah, formulations are crazy now on medication. It's the way pest control has always been. They've instead of using different whole chemistries, they basically change how it's delivered, how it's how it's released when you apply it to a surface. A lot of microencapsulation and stuff now. It's crazy how stuff is delivered. Same with medicine. Yeah. So.
Well, you want to kill the bugs humanely, No,
not really. I just want to, I got to tell you a quick story here. I was playing, doing some Lost Sectors this week, and it was getting late. And would you believe a damn Australian roach? I put it in the Discord. A damn Australian roach just decided to just walk out from underneath my desk, and I'm like, dude, do you know who I am? And immediately split him in half and put him in the toilet. But
he found out who you were.
He found out. I didn't give him a chance to tell his other brothers and sisters, but I don't ever see roaches, dude. And that just accounts for all the rain that we've been having. It's just driven a lot of stuff in it, and it could keep me busy as hell, that's for sure. And yeah, we were talking about boost. Shit, sorry. We were talking about barbecue.
Fail. Yeah. So, sir, what games are you playing at the moment? You said that you're playing in your basement, so.
I am, because, well, it used to all be one room, my office and my TV for playing video games, but because of working out of my office, we actually moved it, so my guest room is now also where I play video games. So my 4K TV and my Xbox Series X, because I finally got to upgrade from my Series S.
Nice.
I'm one of the lucky ones that got to find an X. That's down the hall from here, but that's, where I play Destiny, I play Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, because I have a buddy and I play with that. When I'm not playing those, I actually play, it's called Storybook Brawl. It's on Steam, and it's a brawler, so it's kind of like Hearthstone Battlegrounds, but it's all fairy tale based. It's, you get to pick your hero, like Mrs. Claus or Krampus or, Pan's Shadow or, then they all have different abilities, and then, you pick different characters, and it's an auto brawler, so you don't pick the order, everything. You put basically your characters in order what they attack in, but they attack randomly. It's so, but I kind of like those games, and they're just, they're kind of mindless. You play and
it's like auto chess.
Kind of,
yeah.
It's a free to play on Steam. I mean, or you can buy the supporter battle for $5 or $120 for the ultimate supporter, which I'm never going to get my wife to sign off on because, I like sleeping upstairs
in the bed, yeah,
in the bed with her,
not being buried underneath 20 tons of gravel. Yeah.
Yeah, she can make me disappear under gravel. It'd be real hard to find,
Just like that. Yep. Hey, speaking of gaming, man, Hazel put this in one of our signature questions a few weeks ago, and I'll pose it to you. Why do you game? Why gaming? Why gaming as a hobby? Everyone kind of has a different answer here, but I'm just curious. What's your reason? Or
I have been playing video games since as long as I can remember, because like my parents had an Atari 2600, and I'd get to play that on the weekends, and that was always just awesome. And it's just always been a big appeal to me, but I do find it most of the time relaxing. Every now and then I get frustrated with it, but I think that's just competitive nature. But it's just, it is a nice, relaxing thing to do. It's not the only thing I do to relax, but it is definitely one of the bigger ones to de-stress, because it's just kind of, I'm not super critical of games. Generally, if they can hold my attention and take me away, I love it. Like I remember playing the original Final Fantasy, and for me that was great. Yeah, it's hours of doing nothing but fighting stuff, but it was just something that I could go get lost in, and I kind of immerse myself in, and it just, it's a good escape for me.
Yeah, it reminds me of Dynasty Warriors. I played every one of those games. Just hack and slash. Just mindless. It was so much fun.
I was a big RPG kid growing up. Like I played Final Fantasy, Phantasy Star.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Still popular.
I actually have an original Nintendo. It's up in my bedroom, and it has Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Crystalis. It's got a nice little selection of games, and I still play them.
Nice.
Have you gotten your daughter to play it yet?
Yeah, actually. So I went to a guy who was selling it out here. Like he just had a garage sale, had a bunch of his games, and he was selling them, and she saw The Little Mermaid for Nintendo. And she picked that up, and we weren't leaving that unless I bought that for her, because she was just, and this was back when she was 6, 7. I mean, but she was like, she wanted that because it was a Little Mermaid. And so she's actually played it, but she played it for a little bit and went, "This is too hard. Can you play it, Daddy?" And she'll watch me play it.
Right.
Now that she's almost 12, I bet you she would do better. But her thing right now is she's taking over my PlayStation.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. It's in the playroom. It was kind of it works out because, then she watches that, but like we just got her Jump Force. Mm-hmm. And she, she's playing that. She's got My Hero Academia, One Hero. Like she's really into anime right now. So she, those games just really appealed to her. But yeah, she has played some of the classics with me. So I'm hoping, awesome. I'm hoping with, because I found my Super Nintendo, or I pulled it out, and I'm going to go take that upstairs because it has like Chrono Trigger, and I'm going to go back and play those. I'm like, it's just something I can do on a Saturday when we're not busy. I can just sit in our room and just relax and play those. And I don't even have to go anywhere. I don't have to go down 2 flights of stairs.
I like it, man. That's awesome.
It's yeah, that was one of those. I bought Chrono Trigger for Steam, so I could play it every now and then. But it didn't work with me. Like I couldn't get it to launch. So it's like, But then I found I have it on Super Nintendo. I don't have my Final Fantasy 3 anymore, but I have that. So take what you can.
Yeah. Well, I'm just curious. Since lately, I guess we've had a lot of content you could say out there. Anything you've been watching lately that you want to talk about?
I haven't watched Loki or some of the brand new stuff that's dropped.
Right.
But one of the things I just finished the second part was the War for Cybertron series that it's on Netflix. I love Transformers, and it's a trilogy. So you have first one is Siege, second one's Earthrise, and the third one's called Kingdom, and it comes out at the end of the month. And it's an anime, quote unquote. At least that's what they're saying. But it's like computer done, and it's like an alternate timeline to the original G1, but it is done so well because it kind of gives you more story before, like they landed on Earth and all that. It gives you more background, more what the conflict is and everything. And it's really well done. And I mean, each trilogy piece is like 6 episodes long, so it's not even like a huge time sink. I started watching them on my lunch break. I'd go upstairs, make myself lunch, watch an episode or 2, go back to work.
It's nice to work at home, man.
Yeah, nice. I mean, I could do that at my actual office if I wanted to.
Sure.
Brought lunch back, but I've been watching that, and then the other one is me and my wife. We went back and we're watching One Piece, the entire series.
One Piece. One Piece. What's that about?
It's an anime. It's an anime.
Okay.
The manga started in 1997. The TV show started in 1999, and it's still going.
Wow.
It's been going for quite some time. The writer says he's almost done with the story.
Sounds like Game of Thrones.
Well, no, but this one, like, it's a continual, and like,
right.
When he originally thought it up, it was going to be a 5-season thing, and his original idea was this, and then as he got into it, he decided to expand it more, and it's just becoming this giant thing. But it follows the Straw Hat Pirates, which is led by Monkey D. Luffy, and it takes place in a world where basically you have pirates, you have Marines, and then you have just normal people that don't really make a difference in anything. And pirates are, supposedly the bad guy, but it's all kind of how you view it. Like, really, the world government's really not a bunch of good people. But it's just kind of his voyage and his thing to be king of the pirates. And it's a really good, fun, it gets serious, but it's goofy. And my wife really loves it. And so we've been going back and watching that. I think that's about all I watch besides my normal, like I watch Hell's Kitchen and Forged in Fire, and
it's Master Chef for my wife and I right now. I
like Master Chef.
It's a good show. It's kind of like
Master Chef.
Yeah.
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Forged in Fire. I was watching Street Outlaws, but that's the best in America. Just ended and.
I'm laughing because my wife and I, it's called Master Chef this year is called Legends, and we count how many times they say Legends during the whole episode, and it's usually double digits. It's crazy how often this is Master Chef Legends, and this is
Master Chef Legends.
They'll go
not good enough.
Yeah, this is Master Chef Legends. Come on, dude, and we look at each other and go, yeah, man, this is Master Chef Legends. What the hell were you making? What were you thinking, man, making that? This is Master Chef Legends. Maybe a normal
season, this will be good enough.
Yeah, but this is Legends.
No, this is the Legends season. You got to step it up even more.
Hey,
Did we say this is Legends?
Yeah, exactly. And it's posted everywhere. It's just they're driving it home. And what it is they bring in a different legendary chef every week. And I got to admit, it's been pretty cool. But have you guys, or are you going to see Black Widow?
Me and my wife have talked about it. Like, I usually go see almost every single Marvel movie in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, I want to see it, but part of it is I still have a little bit of the COVID.
I got you. I got you.
But it's just this one, it's like, I don't know if I care that much. I'll wait until it comes on Disney Plus and I'll see it.
I will tell you this. I'm not going to spoil anything. I know, Hazel, have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. This is Black Widow's origin story. And it's I got to admit, man, of all the Marvel movies I've seen, this one is really good. It's done well.
My friend just saw it with his girl, and he said it was really good. Like I said, I want to see it, but I don't know if it doesn't have the biggest appeal. Like, I'm looking more forward to Doctor Strange in Madness in the Multiverse, but that's because Doctor Strange is still probably one of my favorite.
It's my favorite too. It's my favorite too, man.
Yeah. And I think this one is just too late to me. I mean, this one just seems like,
it's out of place. This was supposed to come out last summer.
It doesn't matter, man. I mean, it could come out like 2 years ago and it still would have been out of place.
And I'll just tell you this. We had some, let's just say, teenagers that liked Marvel behind us. And the ending, one girl got up and ran out. Says, I can't deal with this. I can't believe they're doing this. And
I hear the ending sets up some stuff.
Yeah, but some of it's already. I'm trying not to spoil here. It's just some of it is. It's already happened. So why are we getting upset about it? And I was just laughing to myself. I was behind her just giggling, going, did you see the other movies? But
now, I will say that I haven't gone to the theater for that, but I did go on one date with my wife to the movie theater. It's the only movie we've seen since COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we went and saw the Demon Slayer movie.
Oh, yeah,
when it came out.
I wasn't allowed to watch that.
And that was because I read, and it's not like your traditional anime movies where they have an anime movie for the series, and it's just a complete side story, has nothing to do with the main series.
Right.
This one, they changed it up where it's kind of the tie-in between season 1 and season 2.
Okay.
Season 1 ends, and it literally, that's where the movie picks up. And then it ends, and that's where season 2 is going to pick up. You can probably watch them without seeing the movie and be fine, but, I've been watching that. My wife actually was like, well, I'll go see that with you. So I'll go. So she sat down and watched the entire first season just so she could watch the movie with me.
Man, you got a cool wife. I mean,
Yes,
nothing against mine, but my wife doesn't like anime. And
My wife does.
And I don't know how I got her to go see Black Widow, other than maybe it was a female character and maybe that. But Snake Eyes is coming out the 23rd, and I want to see that.
Yeah.
No, that looks good. But that's that's Snake Eyes. That's like, I think almost every guy who grew up, in the 80s, early 90s, it's like Snake Eyes. Who's the coolest ninja ever? Snake Eyes.
And there's another one. There's another Asian Marvel movie coming out. I can't remember.
Shang-Chi.
Yes. Yeah. I saw the previews of that. Dude, I tell you, there's some good movies coming down the pike here. Really good stuff. And
which is nice because it seems like there hasn't been anything in the theaters for
it's been
quite
slim.
some time.
I've never seen it so slim, man. Well, I mean, we're seeing artisan movies, which you know what those are like. It's hit or miss. Either the movie's okay, like Nomadland. It won an Oscar and everything. Yeah, great, but it was an okay movie. It was a gritty movie, but it wasn't like mind blowing when you came out of it. I like to be blown away from a movie because it's an experience, right? But I still have my Stubbs Pass, Elmer Fudd, and I'm still using it. And we're trying to use it. They're actually giving us like bonus cash you can spend at the theater at AMC if we do like 3 movies in July. So we're trying to get that done, and they put incentives out there trying to get people to come back. And I think they're afraid that they've lost a lot of their core audience to streaming now, and I don't blame them, but dude,
you had all them streaming services kind of come out, like HBO Max went, look, we're just going to kind of do both because they found that
30 days.
Like I know when the pandemic came out, me and my wife, we rented a Trolls World Tour because it's like, well, it's actually cheaper than us going to the theater, and it's here, and I've got like a 2-year-old. She doesn't. Yeah. She's finally starting to sit down and watch movies. Like we watched Luca.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a bad idea because now she's watched it, I think, since we watched it 4 other times. And you can't go into Disney Plus and scroll past it because then she goes, oh, Luca. And like if you don't put on Luca,
oh, no.
she loses it.
It's
like,
all hell breaks loose.
I think we have a question about that tonight we'll get to in the community questions. Anything from you, Hazel? Anything new in programs, watching?
I'm watching Kim's Convenience.
That's good. That's well written. I like that show.
It is. The 5th season's sort of meh, but that's the last season, so I give it some pass.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I'm almost done with the 2nd season of Succession. I found out something recently at work that I do better at work when I'm not playing Destiny and I'm just watching shows. So I've decided that I'm going to go back on the train and I'm going to start just like watching shows again and that. So, aside from that, I'm putting in like some time with the wife and we're watching an awful, awful show called Virgin River.
Oh my gosh. My wife watches that. My wife has her own little section of movies and stuff she watched. Like we have the Hallmark movies literally. So like when I go play video games, she has something to watch.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
she's watching that one. And like I came up to that, I'm like, what is this? Virgin River? I have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Just don't.
No.
If you I mean, I just have so many issues with it. I mean, the writing is just fucking terrible. And I mean, usually I'm okay with that, but there's like, in one character, this one woman is like sleeping with half the town. And then the next one, she's like, oh, I'm a good girl.
Oh, Lord.
And she's like in a monogamous relationship and things. And I'm like, what the fuck did I miss?
Yeah,
So.
Hallmark movies have never been very creative. Kind of very trite, overused concepts for movies.
Oh, we laugh because my wife has had the generator. I'm like, all right, pick your scene. The city, your lost town, out in the woods. And it's like,
Exactly.
This, like the next one is like,
Exactly.
what's the problem? Third one is someone in flannel? And then,
Exactly, man. It's like a situational comedy almost, except put seriously.
Well, I make fun of my wife for it, and she knows I'm going to make it. I'm like, oh, so which one is this where she falls in love? Like, did she go back to her hometown to fall in love with the guy she used to like in high school? Or is this the one where, she meets some guy who, works for the place she's trying to shut down, but he puts on flannel and all of a sudden, woo, I can sleep with that. Or, I make fun of it all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, screw my town. I'm going to take him over the town.
It's like
screw my job that I make millions of dollars at. I'm going to throw it all away because this guy wore flannel and has half a beard.
my mother-in-law. That's the only channel. I mean, she has a hard time working TVs. We do a lot of technical support, and thank God my son's here now because he has really been wonderful at helping her press the power button on the TV. So
you need to get yourself a fire cube.
What she'll do is she'll switch her TV off of her main channel that she's streaming off of, or cable. I can't remember what she has, but if she doesn't have Hallmark channel, all hell breaks loose. Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I said. Like, we got a fire cube, like, because my dad is blind and has trouble, and it's like, so we got one to try and see it. And it's like, it's up in our room, and it's great because you're like, hey, Alexa, do this, and it's like, boom, it does what you ask it to.
So it's like a Fire Stick, but just voice commands.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's like an Echo Dot.
Okay.
But it's the Fire Stick.
Oh, I might have to get that for Christmas for her.
Yeah. So like if you have it hooked up with the big thing is you set it up with all your stuff, but you can be like, right. Alexa, turn on the TV. Alexa, go to Disney Plus. And it's just like bloop, bloop, and like it's doing it all for you. You don't have to touch anything.
I like that. That's nice.
It's my older person,
the woman, I swear to God, the woman, she drives me to drink because she'll break. My wife will have to drive all the way across town to go help her, and she'll come back. My wife will come back all distraught and go, she didn't have the TV plugged in. I'm like, oh, jeez. Okay, sorry, honey. Sorry you had to interrupt your TV show to go help her get hers on. But, hey, before we go, I wanted to mention to our listeners that the Distinguished Gentleman podcast put out a best of this week. And before we go, Barbecue, I was just curious. A couple questions here. One, do you still game with the host, with Justin, Stu, Rocker, Boost, any of those guys? Do you still game with them today?
So Justin and Stu, we have 2 set nights we play. Like every Tuesday night we play.
Okay.
And then Friday nights we play.
Well, nice. I just wanted to mention that before we head out here, but I was curious. Me and Hazel were talking here. Is there any memories, or since we're talking about the best of episodes, is there anything that comes to mind as far as memories from podcasting all those years?
I do miss it. I'll be honest with that. I mean, I really do miss. That was a great time of life. I understand why it ended, and
sure,
because family and everything, and is life. Do I wish I could go back and do it? Yeah, but there's a lot. I mean, we've talked before, but like the whole episode with the stroke and smelling burnt toast. Like
Rocker dude,
that was laughing,
I smell toast.
Like, all of us laughed hard, and we still bring it. Like other people ask us about it when they game with us, and they're like, "Oh, that's like." Like one of the guys' favorite things. I kind of hated it at the time, but it was the best bit ever. Was anytime I told a dad joke, and they would all be dead silent.
I remember that.
It didn't matter if the joke was the funniest joke in the world.
That was a great bit.
They would still, make it dead silence because it was it was a better bit. Because, and I mean, I would have to see their faces. Like sometimes they're fighting back the laughter.
Right.
But,
right.
You can't, And what's sad is I still do the jokes every now and then. Like, the other night I was like, hey guys, did I tell you about the time I overdosed on Viagra? And they're like, what? And I'm like, hardest day of my life. I mean, I still tell stupid dad jokes. Try to make my wife laugh with them, and she just, usually rolls her eyes. And then, like, I'll, like, show her something that someone else says, and she'll laugh at it. And I'm like, really?
Well, sorry, that was a decent joke, man, but you got another one?
Oh, I probably have tons of them. That was the last one I heard that, like, made me actually laugh.
Right.
I'm sure I have some floating around somewhere.
I just want to see if you still got it, man.
Like, why did a guy name his dog Rolex and Timex? They are watchdogs.
Yeah. Oh, that was good, man. Nice.
I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. I got tired of being judged for going bald, so I went out and bought a cheap wig. It was a small price to pay.
Yeah. Well, hey, I think it's time for the speed run. What do you think, Hazel? You think it's about that time of the show?
Yes.
What are you doing, Hazel?
It almost reminds me of the joke. That sounds like Justin, like the one joke that I saw. I got him. I know I got him, but he couldn't give it up he couldn't stop because he didn't want to mess up the bit. And I was like, oh, what's the difference between, your wiener and your paycheck? You don't have to beg your wife to blow one of them. And seriously, you could see he was turning red from trying not to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds very familiar. You guys suck.
All right. Hey, man, it's good catching up with you, man. I'm so glad you came on the show tonight. And it's not over. It's not over. We got some unfinished business. I mean, you got to take your crack at the speed run for this year, right?
I know. I do.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I like this attitude, man. I love it. All right, gang. We're going to do that right after this.
Call the Praxic Order, call the Thanatonauts, the Jinsen Scribes, call everyone so they can witness you.
All right, listeners, this segment is called the Speed Run. This is where we have a database of over 250 randomly asked questions, and Baroquereaper here is going to have 90 seconds to answer as many as he can. These are short 1 or 2 word answers, and at the end of the year, the guest with the most answered will win a prize and title of 2021 Speedrun Champion. The questions are randomly asked, so no one can memorize the order, and just answer quickly what comes to mind. Tonight, I'm going to ask the questions randomly from our list. Hazel is the timekeeper and quality control expert. In the event of a questionable answer, Hazel's decision will be final. Startin is our current leader at 39.
Damn.
Sorry to lay that on you, man. We're crusading. We're calling people out to just get at it and see if we can get it done. But Startin was, she was a robot. I mean, very good speedrun questioner, answerer. Anyway, all set, Hazel?
Yes, sir.
You all set, Barbecue?
I'm a game face on.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Warlock, Titan, or Hunter?
Hunter.
Favorite superhero?
Superman.
Void, Solar Arc, or Stasis?
Void.
What was your first video game?
Chopper Command.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Is chili soup?
No.
Should there be freelance solo strikes in Destiny?
Yes.
What is your favorite breakfast cereal?
Chex.
Burgers or burritos?
Burgers.
Most used app on your phone?
Facebook.
Wired or wireless?
Wireless.
What's the best sandwich?
Deli.
Vanguard, Crucible, or Gambit?
Gambit.
Airport or bus station?
Airport.
What's your favorite Destiny planet?
Earth.
M&M's or Smarties?
M&M's.
What one song could you listen to your entire life?
Many.
Orbs of light or orbs of darkness?
Orbs.
Describe yourself in one word.
Me.
Garth Brooks or Led Zeppelin?
Zeppelin.
Blues or metal?
Metal.
What's the latest you've been up gaming?
Way too late.
What number am I thinking of?
12.
Favorite color?
Orange.
Audiobook or physical book?
Audio.
Is exercising worth it?
Yeah.
What's the one thing you own that needs to be thrown out?
Too much.
Superman or Goku?
Goku.
Carpet or tile?
Tile.
Hats, yes or no?
Yeah.
If you could live in any decade, which would it be?
60s.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Sunset or sunrise?
Sunset.
What's your lucky number?
12.
Grenades or melees?
Grenade.
DC or Marvel?
All right.
DC or Marvel?
Go ahead.
I'll go with Marvel.
Okay. Damn. I have a feeling I know what that number is. But Hazel, how do you do, man?
How do you think you did?
I think he did 36.
Well, I was actually asking him.
Me? I think I did okay.
Yeah, you did. You did good.
Yeah, 36 exactly.
That's really good, dude.
That's very good.
If there's a second place title, you probably just got it. That's really good.
What did Kingsley hit? Did Kingsley hit 36 or 30?
35. Kingsley got 35.
You know what we could do?
What's that?
We could do one for the significant others where there's not Destiny questions.
Mm-hmm.
And because there weren't any Destiny questions in hers. I'm trying to stave off a lawsuit from Mrs. Hazelnut because
thinking that
she's like, I want mine to count. And she wants to do it.
Yeah,
So,
my wife wants to also. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, honey, you don't have any Destiny experience.
Every time I'm always just shy of these.
I know, man. I mean, 39. I mean, you weren't that far, dude. You were 3 questions away. But I stumbled on a couple of them there, and that's why we gave you a little extra time there at the end. But for some reason, I can't read. My brain is not working tonight. Sorry about that. But dude, no, man, that's really good. That's really good. We'll keep track of it, and
if anything changes, we will definitely.
We'll definitely tell you. And hey, community, let us know. You think there should be a speed run for significant others or non-Destiny, and then one for Destiny? Because we can reevaluate that, and we still have a good 5 months left in this year. So let us know. Get it. Put it in our question. I'm sorry. Put it in our show feedback channel in our Discord, and we'll go from there. Hey, I gotta.
So there's still 5 months left in this year, Mike. There's only 5 months left in this year.
Isn't that something? I know. We're around the bend. For it'll be Halloween and Thanksgiving. All that'll be rolling around the corner. Believe me, my wife is already getting ready for school.
Yeah.
The kid. August 7th. The kids are already coming back in Florida.
Mine is end of August, and we're like, all right, we got to go back to school shopping, and it's like, damn,
It just ended.
It feels like it did. I mean, I don't know. It was crazy. Hey, listeners out there, I got a question for you. Do you have a great speedrun question? If that's a yes, join our Discord and enter them in our speedrun question ideas channel. We'll add them to next year's speedrun. Just remember they need to be yes or no, 1 or 2 word answers. Either or questions will also be accepted. At the end of the year, we're going to have 2 drawings for a $25 gift card of your choice, and you can enter up to 5 questions to go into the drawing. So good luck with that. All right, that means it is time for This Week at Bungie. This week at Bungie, week 10 of Season of the Splicer. Hazel, what's going on this week, man?
All right. So, I got to give Bungie, or DMG, a shout out here because they have little taglines on every TWAB. I never read them because they're usually meh. But this one was Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit, oh my. So, I got to give them a little bit of credit on that one. So,
he has a little tongue-in-cheek this week, that's for sure.
A little bit, because now what they're doing, spoiler alert, into the TWAB here, they are actually going to be bringing in Strikes into the same layout that they have Crucible and Gambit in. So, that the powerful engram that shows up, and then all the way up to the Ascendant Shard.
Right.
The Ascendant Shat. So, yeah. So the Ascendant Shard. And they're bringing that in. And that's kind of like the whole thing with this TWAB is talking about the reputation for that.
Right.
So with that, basically, well, just so you're aware too, they're getting rid of the terms infamy and valor. So you're never going to see that again. And I'm okay with that. Whatever.
I'm
Makes no
okay.
difference.
Infamy never made sense. It's Gambit.
Infamy was cool
It
just
does,
because,
according to the lore, and
Oh, okay.
blah, blah, blah. Not that I'm like big into the lore, but it's, it's kind of the whole, you're not with the Vanguard, so you're infamous.
Exactly.
You're infamous.
Yeah, exactly. You're not famous, you're infamous.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, I always like the concept of infamy on there. I just wish they would have done more with it, quite frankly. But, so yeah, they're getting rid of that. Glory will continue to show up, though, just so you know. Also, fun fact for you Trials people out there, Trials is going to be getting this little handy-dandy rank as well. So,
Good.
Curious to see how all this is going to play out. But in the meantime, what they're doing is they're making a couple changes. So the things I'm going to mention here are mainly for Crucible and Gambit. But so Gatr, when I was reading this, all I kept thinking was they're going to make me show my O face because this is like fantastic stuff here. So what they're doing. You know what I'm talking about?
That was bad. Sorry. I read it.
Fail. Okay. Anyway.
It's an F.
Okay. Listener, you got it. I'm sure you did. Think Office Space if you didn't. So for Crucible and Gambit, what they're doing is if you win a lot, you're going to progress faster than you do now. If you lose, you're still going to progress, just not as fast. But either way, you are going to be it's only going to basically be per your performance that you're going to basically be able to rank up. You are not going to be able to rank up per bounties anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think I saw it. Like, it's also like Gambit now when you get to Legend, where basically the only way you get anything is if you win or bounties.
Yes.
It's getting rid of that. So you don't get stuck.
Yes. You get stuck in Legend. And you play, by the way, the matchmaking is against other Legend players. I don't know if you guys knew that. Yeah.
But why the fuck can't they do this with Trials?
I don't know, man.
Sorry.
I get your frustration. I do.
Trials is because I think part of it's just the low player base. Like, they don't have enough.
They don't have enough putty to work with right now. That's for sure.
I'm sure, but damn it. I mean, if you want more casuals to get in, how about not having them get fucking destroyed, by, ZK
People farming
Mushroom.
the third, rank win or the third win, prize.
Exactly. I don't know. Okay. Sorry about that, listener. That was fucking Hazel rant right there. Okay. So with this, Vanguard ranks is the new thing they're talking about. So with this, you can earn Vanguard reputation when you complete strikes, nightfalls, and battlegrounds. Battlegrounds getting some love. Look at that.
I can't believe they're bringing that. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's part of the year, isn't it? Yeah, my bad.
It's part of the year, exactly. So it'll be crossed off, and then whatever they introduce next, whatever, the Witch Queen season will be right there.
That's that no FOMO thing for year 4. I got you.
Yep, exactly. Look at them. So with that, they're going to do it a little bit differently for Vanguard. So, like, for example, what this is Nightfalls will give different bonuses based on the completion medals, which can be earned through high scores, defeating all champions, and then where you finish. So bronze, silver, gold, platinum medals are actually going to mean something for once. And then, again, it's going to basically depend on what difficulty you select. So if you do Grandmaster, you're going to get a bunch of shit for that. you're going to get, more reputation than you would just by doing the heroic or whatever it is.
Yeah, you should. That's a hard strike, man.
But is it going to be useful stuff? Because, that I think that's still one of my biggest complaints right now with I completed a Crucible match and it dropped 17 different items. All of them are blue and worth nothing.
What is up with the blue gear? Come on, Bungie.
Well, it's funny you say that because with it, at least with Grandmasters anyway, they are adding better masterworking material drops, adept weapons and mods, and title gilding.
I saw a Reddit post, a guy put a video on who did a Grandmaster, finished it and got 17 keys. Thank you very much.
Is that all he got?
That's all he got.
All he got.
No, I swear. I saw the ending game outtake. He got 17 keys and 5,000 glimmer. That was it.
We got 5,000 glimmer. You should be happy.
Oh God. One bounty can give you that, by the way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so, I mean, I'll be honest. I really haven't done a single Nightfall this season up until I got this wild hair at my ass to actually knock out all the seasonal challenges, or at least complete most of them, and get the big pile of bright dust at the end there.
Who are you, dude?
What?
Who are you? Where does the real where's the past Hazel that didn't give a crap?
You rubbed off on me.
Yeah, I've tainted our player base. There we go.
Sorry, I had to ask that.
Yeah, so I mean, but yeah, so I'm at 73 of 75 as it stands right now.
Wow.
So I need 5 more games of Gambit, and that's pretty much going to be enough for me to get the Primeval Patina or whatever the hell they call that.
Right.
That one, as well as the Elemental Gambit, and then I will have my big pile of bright dust. So,
wow.
So yeah. So before all this, I had not stepped foot into a Nightfall and I don't know when. And so if you're like me, I want you to know something. The 1310 Nightfall is not that bad. You just have to be spec'd out. If you can do a Lost Sector, you can do this. You can even do it solo. I knocked this out solo a couple times. But for the challenge, I had to be flawless. And thankfully, Red Grackle, he is on Xbox, and he went ahead and helped me with it. And I got my flawless, and that's one less thing I have to worry about. So.
Yeah, Red Grackle. He's new in our Discord. Welcome, dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He was telling me about, he has 2 kids, and he's like, yeah. He's like, one of them's 5, and the other one, I think he said was 2, and he's like, they're not sleeping at all.
Oh, man.
So it was 1 o'clock in the morning. He's like, I think I need to get some sleep because they're going to be up any minute.
Oh,
I was just like, oh, damn, dude.
Hmm.
So, yeah. But, so, yeah, they're doing some stuff there. And then activity streaks and reputation bonuses. So, again, the longer you stay in the activity, the larger your streak bonus will be.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's like they're actually rewarding you for just playing the activity and not
Who would have thunk?
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Look at this. They lose Luke Smith to a degree, and they start making changes that kind of make sense.
Oh, Luke Smith sees all.
Oh. He
Luke,
does.
He sees all.
He does, but still, I make jokes. So, with Grandmasters, they're doing a couple different things here. So basically, there's a couple of issues with the community at the moment. Big surprise. And it all revolves around Grandmasters. So they're basically going to be lowering the entrance level for Grandmasters.
Really?
Yeah.
Must have missed that.
So they're going to be lowering that down just a little bit. I'm imagining 5 power or something like that. Just to make it a little more so everybody can get in.
Now, I tried to...
people, not everybody.
I tried to do a Grandmaster with Larman this week, and DLN, which is one of my old buddies who just joined the Discord as well. Welcome, DLN. And we were all 1342 and higher in light. And man, we got smoked. I guess the way and it said 1360 light level to get in there. And I'm like, what? That's insane.
1335.
Well, I guess now Kingsley explained it to me. I guess it's got a permanent contest mode on. Is that true? Like contest mode is on where it doesn't matter how big a light you are, that is a certain max you have. Like contest mode is. I don't know. He said something about contest mode in the Grandmasters.
Yes. Yeah. So no matter what, you're going to be at 1335.
That makes it even for people who are in the 1330s still, that can still play it. So we were under a time crunch this week, but we tried to do it. And second encounter, I was like, oh man, we're doing this. Awesome. We're actually completing our Grandmaster. And then we got to the third encounter. It was like, slap, we're all going to orbit. I'm like, okay. I think I tripped on a rock and fell down, and the and the champion was like, oh, you didn't. You're out of here, buddy. But that was it. We all flew to orbit. And so, I mean, that's bringing it down. That's good. Hopefully it's...
Yeah. Well, fun fact for you. What I did for the 1310, and that was basically, I watched Esoteric's video when he soloed the Grandmaster Nightfall, just to make you feel real special, Gatr.
Wow.
So he soloed this, and I was like, okay, well, if he's doing that with that loadout, then I can go ahead and get something halfway decent with, my loadout and do a lesser tier.
Right.
And I'll be damned, it fucking worked.
Really?
So yeah, I went through and I started just like burning through stuff. I was, it made me feel real good. I was like, wow.
You found out where to stand, where not to get run over and stuff, that kind of stuff?
Well, I mean, it's basically just stand back and plink things from a distance.
Thin it slowly. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. And then I have, just so you know, a slight humble brag for your good buddy Hazel here. I have 2 hung juries, and one of them has explosive payload, and it is nasty.
Asshole! Excuse me. The allergies are really bad right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have one yet. I did a master.
Aww.
I did a master Nightfall, and it didn't drop for me. What's up with that, Bungie? A master. That's 1340 light. And I got the grenade launcher, the breach grenade launcher. I'm like, what the hell's this? Where's my gun? Where's my gun, Bungie?
Aww.
Damn it. It said it was common. Guess it wasn't common enough.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. We did it on Tuesday.
Didn't get one either?
2 times. Nothing.
Was this a master or a grandmaster?
Master.
Really? Okay, I feel a little better now.
Yeah. So, well, if it makes you feel better, my third perk is absolutely useless. So, yeah. I got bottomless grief.
I feel a little better now. Okay.
Yeah. So,
explosive payload, dude. That is awesome in Crucible.
Yeah, I like it. So, back to the TWAB.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Yeah. So, basically, Grandmasters are a thing. They're lowering it to make sure everybody can get in. The hoopla about all of this is that there's a lockout on here. So, basically, more or less, once you beat it the first time, you can't grind it again. You can't grind it like you could before.
You can't play it again? Once you do one of them? Really?
Yeah.
You sure does this have to do with the gilding, or is this on everything?
So it's mainly just for the gilding. So it's just for that.
Okay.
But you can't grind this the same way. And I was like watching a couple videos just to see is that really am I reading this right? Is this, it doesn't quite make sense. But your good buddy Dado, he had an interesting thought where basically the people that would be grinding this probably don't need to.
Yeah, good point. They already have all the materials and...
Yeah. And that's what they're doing, is they're just doing it to get the materials.
All right. So let me get this straight. If I don't have Conqueror title, I can run as many times as I want.
Well, that means you're not finishing that.
True. Okay. Meh.
So that means you're not finishing that quest.
Right. I'm not. Yeah.
Or, well, I'm sorry, that Nightfall. So say it's Inverted Spire and you don't finish it, then you're not getting the rewards, so they're going to be like, yeah, sure, you can.
No, I mean the title where you have to run all the you have to run the Grandmaster for all the ones that are available. That gets you the Grandmaster title, right? Or Conqueror title, I guess it is. Conqueror,
right.
I'm not even close to doing that. I don't really like strikes, but I've been dipping my toe in it because I've got to admit the weapon. I mean, I got a couple plug ones doing Nightfalls last week. They're decent rolls, but not. I wanted to get the Adept one, but we couldn't find anybody high enough light to jump in a Grandmaster last week. And this week I found a buddy of mine, like I said, wasn't even just on my friends list, and he plays a lot like we do. But there's not a lot of people out there at 1335 light or up. At least not on my friends list. So.
The thought behind it all is basically to let people guild their titles sooner.
Earlier, yeah. So what you're saying is they're not putting a lock on having to play a certain one every week. They're taking the lock off of being able to play any of them for those.
Exactly. Right.
Okay,
yeah,
I get it.
They're taking that off, but once you beat it, then it's done.
So you can't go to the easiest one, right?
Exactly. Until, and they even call out Lake of Shadows just for fun.
I follow you now. Okay.
So, yeah. I'm like, ew. I mean, I'm okay with it just because I'm kind of getting that itch to try a Grandmaster. So
I tried the other night, and unfortunately, my friend didn't have a lot of time. He had 30 minutes. I mean, you need a lot more than 30 minutes to run a Grandmaster.
Yeah.
So we just did a Master, finished it up in 25 minutes, if not less, and I did not get my reward.
Yeah. So, how'd it go for you, Baroque?
Yeah. You run any?
I've never run a Grandmaster because my highest light level is like 30 or 12 or whatever. It's like just under what you should be.
1330?
Yeah, it's like 1330, and I don't play enough consistently, and it seems also I've gotten into the bad drops role where it's like, hey, we're going to give you another pair of gloves for this, pinnacle drop.
Yeah.
Because that's what you need, even though that's the one piece that you don't need right now. So, I'm still like 13, 17 for all of my gear drops. So I'm not quite there yet, but hopefully, soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, good luck with that. If you ever need anybody on Xbox, let me know. I have an Xbox Series X as well.
Chill. Oh, sorry, guys. Man.
Damn. Those allergies are serious.
It's really bad here right now. Sorry, man. I'll try to mute myself next time.
I got lucky on that one with my wife. You say she's awesome. I say she is too, because I got a Series S because I was late to the pre-order thing. And she went, oh, okay. And then one day was like, well, I'm going to go check Costco. And like they had just dropped a new set of release of the entire package that came with, the X, an extra controller, the hard drive, kind of thing. And she went, okay, well, you can just get that because I know you wanted one.
Wow.
So, I sold my Series S, to kind of help recoup the cost. But
yeah. Sure.
She still was like, yeah, here you go.
Nice. Wow.
That's awesome, man.
Mrs. Gatr, are you listening?
Oh, no.
She's not listening. She's not listening.
She already tuned out. She doesn't even listen to the twab.
She doesn't.
So, I know my wife doesn't. So, I can say whatever I want during this section.
This is the wife segment.
Nope, I'm not that dumb.
Oh, okay.
So, aside from that, Bungie Foundation update, they raised $625,000 as of basically 8 hours ago, kind of thing. With a goal of 777,000. Big surprise. So they should be able to knock that out by the end of it. So, here we are.
Oh, you were asking me last week about the tiny tank emote?
Yes.
I told you I checked my email. Well, they answered our question. I guess they're sending out the redemption codes, Thursday the 29th? All the things if you donated. I donated $75 and I paid for the shipping to their handling or whatever. the processing fees, I guess. So it was like $77 or something, which kind of made perfect sense. And yeah, so I guess they're going to email all these codes for all this different things. Are you still wanting to do that? What you talked about?
Yeah, coincidentally enough, I was actually just going to mention that. So if I were to donate $75 to this, do I get the tiny tank emote, the buoyant shell, and everything else?
All that. All the above. Yep. That's why I did that.
Yeah. So, dear listener, I am going to be donating $75 to this, and I'm going to throw up the tiny tank emote as, we'll
figure it out.
Anybody who wants it. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll open up a new channel or something like that. And if you want the tiny tank emote, put your name in. We'll give you a number and we'll do RNG. And
there you go.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
That'll work. Hey, one other thing I had a question about. I know you're wrapping it up here. Shit's broken, yada, yada, yada. But
my line, man.
Sorry. It said here, seasonal ritual weapon quests and ornaments. There's not going to be a quest anymore. That it just drops now when you're progressing the season, right?
In the season bar. So you know how like there's like the Ascendant Shard, the Powerful Engram,
right?
Enhancement Cores. You're going to see the weapon in there.
Oh, I like that. Versus having to go get a million breach load.
Very stupidly specific.
Yeah, like breach loaded kills in the Crucible. God, good luck. That's not my jam. I love that it just drops for just playing. Thank you, Bungie. Yeah. That's a great quality of life right there.
Exactly.
And then the ornaments will drop thereafter.
It?
Yeah. Imagine that.
Who'd have thunk it?
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So next is Prime Rewards. It's Merciless, a ship, and a sparrow with an ornament there.
For new players, get that Merciless if you have Prime.
Yes, exactly.
Good fusion.
Exactly. Yep. All right. So, fucking Solstice armor again. Under the Shit's Broken area, they're going to have a new website. They're going to ask you to log in using your Bungie credentials. You're going to get an email, just so you know. Shit's broken. More shit's broken.
Did you get your t-shirt code? I got mine.
Yeah,
completing armor.
Shit,
okay. Just make sure,
bruh. I knocked this shit out in like 2 days.
I'm sorry I asked. Sorry. Broke, you got yours?
Amateur.
I don't order any shirts. Probably because it's like I look at the price and it's like, no, I think I'd spend something else.
Yeah, I got you.
I usually end up, spending it on like my kids.
I hear you, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this year they're not even doing like the stuff on the sleeve, like your gamer tag anymore.
Right. You just get the generic t-shirt. I like the t-shirt. I ordered it. It's going to be nice.
I don't like the t-shirt, but I ordered it just so.
I like the color scheme. I like it.
Meh.
I'm sorry. You were saying something. I interrupted again.
Yeah. So known issues. 2021 armor glows for warlocks always display the stasis glow effect when wearing the Fellwinter's helm. Who cares? It's a warlock. Reissue Dreaming City weapons are not dropping as intended. That's kind of important. And then aside from that, shit's broken. They're going to fix it eventually. Movies, art, and no cat this week. So
I didn't see it. No, I couldn't find it. Oh, DMG.
It's not Cosmo.
DMG. Right. I got it now.
See, I set you up. See?
Okay. I got it.
All right. And that's everything.
Hey everyone, looking for some like-minded gamers to Destiny with?
Or maybe just a place to de-stress and talk about life with others for a bit.
Or maybe just a place to discuss the latest movies, the TV shows, new awesome music out there.
What about New Year's resolutions or goals or our fitness section?
Well, you're also reading about our channels with links to our clan, Speakpipe, our show music playlist for God's sake, or even where to get a show t-shirt, mouse pad, or coffee mug if you want to help support us.
Wow, you're not just a Bungie shill, you're a Guardian Downcast shill, huh? So, man, you must be forgetting also about the Podcast Questions channel, where listeners can put in their own questions for us.
And Hazel, our show feedback channel, where listeners can talk about our past podcast. And our
Stop. This shameless plug has gone on long enough. I'm going to put a fork in it. Everybody, just go to the GDC Discord community link on our weekly show notes where you can see the invite there. Just visit us at guardiandowcast.com. That invite link there will never expire, so just go there too.
and later, Guardian.
Oh my God, just stop.
What? What did I do?
You're so excited.
I'm excited, man. What,
Just bring it. Just bring it down.
All right, whatever, man. Okay, jeez.
Lay off the coffee.
What a downer. Well, hey, before we go, I had a few questions. Since we're on the Destiny topic here. It said the dreaming weapons weren't dropping as they were hoping, I guess, and they're going to get a fix of that. How do we get dreaming city weapons again? I can't remember. There was a Reddit post saying, why can't we just get them as automatic drops in the was it the Blind Wells? The central. I can't remember. I haven't done it so long.
Yeah, Blind Well. It's on the Dreaming City.
Right. Like it's like a group activity thing. Yeah. Why can't we get them that way? Why can't we? I mean, how do we get them? How do we get them in the past? I can't remember.
They just dropped because they were just like random, like weapons and shit.
Well, they were random weapons, but before you also had like weekly quests you could do in the Dreaming City because that was the story. So I mean, there was stuff like that, but yeah, I don't know how to get them now. I honestly went. I mean, everyone's always gets so excited about these. Oh, they're bringing back this weapon, and it's like I loved it. And it's like I'd rather you just give me new stuff, not bring back the old stuff.
Yeah, but
new perks.
But there's a couple good weapons there. I really want. I love the auto rifle and I love the sniper rifle from Dreaming City.
And Twilight Oath.
And I love sniping a Crucible, so I like having a different sniper rifles to choose from. And
I loved my Twilight Oath. I got when I first ran the dungeon, I got the curated roll. First one out.
Nice. Nice. Yeah,
that's. Did you know they still have those curated rolls? I've gotten a few still.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, wow. I'm like, this shit's already masterworked, and I'm like, huh, interesting. Yeah. I got a vouchsafe.
Oh,
I was a good scout.
That's a great
I was doing
scout.
Shattered Throne as basically solo. I was trying to do that for the armor.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, I failed miserably. But yeah, I got a vouchsafe from it.
It's been so long since I've done anything in the Dreaming City. I was just curious if I'm missing something. So I could go down lost sectors even, and it could drop out of a chest, maybe.
Well, apparently it's not dropping out of anything because. Much anyway.
Right, and they said if you have never gotten it before, for like new players, you would get it, but for returning players who already got that drop in the past, that it was Sunset. That's where we're having problems, I guess. Man, I got to get back to the Dreaming City once they fix this. That is. So
I think that is definitely one of the downsides of Destiny is like, here's this new big expansive area where we could do a lot next season. Forget about that. We're going to go focus on this now. And like, sometimes they just never get back to that area.
Well, you always get that token story mission though.
Yeah, that's true.
That takes you back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they try and tie it in slightly like, oh, hey, they're here too. Go kill them.
Yeah. Oh, hey, go see this person on this planet that you forgot existed.
Right.
But it's okay. That's not my biggest complaint. And it's the one complaint that, a lot of people have, like, even with this season, the season or the weekly, story stuff you had to do with the splicer, you get to a point and it's like, go talk to this person. Okay, next step. Go talk to this person.
Yeah.
Next step. Go back and talk to the person you just talked to.
That gets old.
Damn it.
I know. I hear you. Go talk to the what is it, the machine where they project their face up there. You talk to them, and then you go to talk to the splicer, and then you got to come back and talk to them again, and then finish up at the splicer before you go. I'm like, can we just streamline this a little bit? I guess it's part of the dialogue.
Yeah, I'll give you this is like this time, like I've watched more of the story of this than I did with the War Table, because the War Table I was like, yeah, I'm over this. Kettle's, you know,
Right.
bad person, whatever, da-da-da. This one I've actually watched some of it, so... And have you guys seen the lore that dropped before it was supposed to?
Yes, I've actually read it
A
couple weeks back, actually.
Damn it.
When it came, the week it came out, and it actually popped for me, and I'm like, oh. And you read it because it kind of gives kind of spoilerish stuff to the end of the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Because you don't
I was in a lost sector probably.
You don't do spoilers anyway.
No, I try not to, but
you just like shooting demands in the head.
shoot the mans and complete the bounties.
I'm for... See, bounties is the other thing. Why do I have to go to everybody individually to get bounties?
Don't have to.
Can't they just have...
Oh, let me tell you. I got this, Hazel.
I bet
You can go to your app now, and all the vendors are there. You can upload you can purchase all the bounties now through your phone or through your mobile app.
Oh.
Right to your character.
Which mobile app?
The Destiny one, just the Bungie app. Yeah, if you go to the overview one, I can't remember what it's called. There's a segment. No, it's
right there on the front.
It's the very first
log in.
It's the very first one. Here, I'm just going to look it up. It's
I'm going to it right now. You guys got me interested.
Yeah. You go to the director, and when you go to the director, it's uploading because they did a
vendors. Oh, I see.
Yeah, and go to bounties. You hit the bounty tab, and guess what? Every bounty in the game almost all of them are listed right there. That's my morning ritual, man. I grab all the bounties and. It's great.
My morning ritual is very different than yours.
It's great fun.
I did not know this.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it?
Saving me some time. I'm going to be sharing that among other people. Well, because that's been the biggest complaint we've had for a long time, where it's like, I don't want to have to go and talk to everybody.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, speaking of that, we asked this of Dan Finity last week. I'm going to ask it to you as well. Is if Bungie gave you a small team, you could focus on any one thing in Destiny and you run with it. What direction would you go?
Ooh. That's a good question.
It's not ours. Somebody asked it of us.
We stole it. It was one of our community members asked it.
You didn't steal it. You tactically acquired it.
Okay. Okay.
I think they're actually working on it, like the whole strikes and gambit, and they really need to make all of those activities worth more than just, oh, I can get a higher piece of gear. Like all the strikes and everything, it's like, yeah, they were good. Destiny 1 had a good thing of weaving stuff in their fragmented story, but I mean, at least there was something there, and that's something they kind of miss now.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I wish like they just had more story stuff. Just like the new season stuff, I understand, but it's a lot of rinse and repeat every week. Like, oh, you're going to go do the seasonal activity, then you're going to go do some other thing, and then like I wish they introduced a few more story aspects, like just missions you could go do story-wise, like replay story missions.
Right.
But they don't really have, like that was D1, like you could go replay mission and replay the story piece of it.
Right. I used to do that to complete bounties. I'd go back in the story. Yeah.
Let me hide my surprise.
But I mean, that is something I kind of miss from D1, where like they had the missions you could go back and replay, and now it's not necessarily like that. It's like I can go to the area, but
a lot of stuff once you complete it. Yeah, once you complete a lot of these missions, they go away. They're not available anywhere on the map. Yeah, I get that, man. I get that completely. What did you guys think of this? This was a Reddit post by Fire Truck Red is my favorite flavor. What a name, man. What a name. He said, Bungie, if the other team has their primeval to half health and mine is still at 35 motes, they shouldn't be allowed to invade and wipe out all our progress. Do you guys agree with that? Would that be a good mechanic they should put in Gambit? I mean, do you guys play a lot? I mean, I know.
Gambit's kind of one of those. I find it's rarely a close game. It's usually a blowout one way or the other. And
yeah,
they need to do something about the primeval at the end and the catch-up mechanic to getting there, because if you're getting decimated the whole game, and they get the primeval up and you have 6 motes banked, not that this has ever happened to me, because I'm the best damn player in the world.
You play good Gambit. I played with you before. Yeah, you're good at Gambit, man.
I'm actually not bad. It's just I don't get to play with full teams much, so it doesn't matter how good one person is in that game mode at all. It's not like Crucible where one person can make the entire difference.
That's true.
Gambit is definitely a team sport, but the catch-up mechanic. Okay, yeah, they drop the guys who drop more motes more frequently, and that. But by the time you get your primeval up, the other team just melts theirs in 10 seconds, and. Yeah, that whole they can invade you if they if they bank up their invasions. Which I think that's kind of the thing. I think if you get it at 25 motes,
mm-hmm.
and then you hit the 50 and you didn't invade, you don't get that first one. You should only get the one.
Right.
Or none of them at that point. I mean, unless they pop theirs.
But it's once you hit the thing. If you had an invasion thing, it's gone. So it should close the window. More tactical,
right? Yeah, it would. I've had that happen where we'll be so close to getting our primeval up, and they're already 3/4 of the way down. They've already almost destroyed it. It's just the final tack. I don't know. To make things more fun, I think they should increase the invasions for the team that's behind if they haven't pulled a primeval yet. They do for if you don't have a primeval up yet?
Yeah.
Well, you get to start invading. But
okay. That's right.
Saying,
that's right.
That you can start invading, but it's there is a time frame.
There's a cooldown on it though. Yeah.
There's a cooldown.
Not much of one. It's maybe 15 seconds or 10 seconds.
That's an eternity when they're melting the damn primeval. I've tried, believe me. I've gone in there and
I think the big problem with invading isn't necessarily that. It's there's only 2 or 3 spots you spawn into when you invade.
Right. And any team that knows how to play knows you're going to be there. And
I've done it where teams, they turn you go to invade and there's 2 to 3 of them aimed right at that. They're aimed at all of the spawns. So it doesn't even matter you invaded. Yeah. You're insta-killed.
They need to randomize the spawns better.
They need to randomize it a lot more.
Yeah, I agree.
Have 5 or 6 places you can spawn in.
Yeah. It's the old school maps that are the worst too. The old Dreaming City maps and stuff where there's only 3 possible places you can come in, and if
it's not even one of the maps anymore, is it?
It might be on all of them now, but there's some maps that are easier to invade than others, and some that just
the one on Earth, with the forest and the beach and that one. People know everything. Oh, yeah. They know all the spawn spots.
Yeah.
They just know where you're going to be.
The good teams already have a rocket on you by the time you even jump out behind the plane there, the ship. Yeah. At the beach. That's happened so many times. You're trying to help your team. And
I think that's the problem is they need to work on the invasion piece. I don't want to say give them more health because you get the guys who go in there and they've just specced out for it, but they need to have some kind of addressing for Gambit. And I also think they need to do in Gambit what they did for survive the competitive Crucible, where you can go in as a team or you can go as a solo player.
Right.
Because that's a
a freelance playlist. They should have that on all the activities.
I think that is one of the smartest things they've done because mm-hmm. I've gone in and I can get up to 3,000, 3,500 easy on the Crucible. That's about where I start having a little trouble going up, even in the freelance. But if I go in with teams,
mm-hmm.
I can't even get up that high because all of a sudden you just get the guy who he's just barely there, but he gets put with you, and then you get up against a team of 3 who
right.
They're a team of 3 and they're communicating
and they're running over you with 3 guys. Yeah,
yeah,
I know the feeling too. And I will say this: I've used Iron Banner regular playlist and Iron Banner the freelance playlist. I will say this about the freelance playlist in Iron Banner specifically. it is skill-based match made. So you're not jumping in there as a god and jumping over a bunch of other people that aren't. Every time I play the freelance playlist, there's a lot fewer mercies, a lot fewer, and
It's a much closer set of games.
Yes, the games come down to the wire where it's actually fun. You're like really trying and trying not to die. You know, they have 2 points left. You know, everyone please don't die. You know,
the game ends 51 to 1 or 151 to 150.
And if you're
like,
if you're on the losing end of it, it hurts, but it's just
much better experience. I'd rather have that than I go in and it's 13 to 72.
Right, exactly. Well, I know we probably lost 10 listeners right when I said the word Gambit, but I did want to address that because I thought that was a good point. It was a good point.
I loved Gambit when it first came out.
I did too.
They revamped it, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And then, you know, they put it down to the 1 round, and I'm like, that's fine because I was definitely original, and it's like, they can win round 1. I don't give a crap. By round 2, I'm ready to roll out, starting up. And like Stu thought it was hilarious because he's like, we get on the Dreaming City map. He knew exactly what was going to happen. You're going to go up. They're going to spawn on the top island. And he knew they were going to be tethered instantly because I would have it. And I mean, I had it planned out and we would definitely come back and smoke them.
Right. And
then for the 3rd round, you know, you got your super back really quick. Well, especially I had a set of gear with Shards of Galanor, and I had it basically spec'd out where if I didn't have my super, which usually I didn't because I switched it out in between rounds, I would have it in the first 15 seconds of the round, and then I would always have it.
Right.
Because I could throw it, it would do enough, and it would to proc it to where I'd get a full super again.
Yep.
And if they invaded, I could just throw it at them, kill them, and then I could do, and I mean, it was just a continuous thing. And you know, it's just one of those. And Stu, we had it planned out to, okay, if I get him this far, Stu would then do his Stormcaller, you know, Kameo wave and just blow up. Like, we could do it, and we knew exactly how long it would take.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the Admiral Nips special, I believe, running Hunter with the Shards of Galanor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get it back fast.
Yeah, that 3rd stage. I think he said he got like 6, I think.
It's crazy. I played it a few times. It's broken almost.
Those are baby numbers.
It's almost broken.
I'm not joking because I would go and you'd hear and then I'd land and it would fill up and then I could do it again. And then I'd land and do it. I could do about 5 a minute.
That's nuts.
Because you would have them every 10 seconds. Just throw it, land, jump up again, and it'd be ready and you could throw it again. Then you'd land, you know, like, so you could get out of the cover, but you could basically just sit there and just spam it.
Right.
Yep. That's what I mean, I love playing Hunter just because of stuff like that.
They've got some good exotics. I'll give them that. Yeah, it's not bad.
I think they still ended up on the short end of the stick when it came to stasis.
Really?
Oh, no way.
I think it's the stronger of the 3. I mean, Titans, questionable. Titans are still hard to kill.
Titans are almost impossible to kill. Like, I don't know, Warlock, they nerfed him down and that helped, but theirs is very like, the Hunter one is a good defensive and it can freeze stuff, but it's not really a killing super.
Right.
Whereas the other 2 really do, they just kill stuff left and right.
Well, I have to give a shout out to Helios because he was in our show feedback last week. We were downing stasis a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "No, you can really have some nice builds." And I did some research. I took him up on his word. I did some research, and I was playing the Master Nightfall this week using the little cannons. I had the Stasis Warlock set up on Shadebinder, and I was having a great time, man. For PvE, I think it's a great super to have, a great class. I just feel dirty saying that, but in PvE, in PvE and PvP, no. I Nova Bomb all day. Or Kamehameha. I'll use that too, which is broken still. It still shoots through walls.
It's very broken. I use stasis probably the most in PvP.
Really?
Just because I do it just because that's what I got so used to, and now I suck with most of the other subclasses on Hunter for PvP.
Yeah. I still use the Tornado. I still use stasis because it's still pretty effective, especially if you're trying to do zone control, like area control. You're trying to keep people off a point. It's great for that.
And
That's
clip
really
it.
what it is.
What'd you say, Hazel?
I said, and clip it.
Before we go, I think Hazel had one more topic he wanted to bring up. I'll give you the floor, Hazel.
Yeah, so when I was playing with Red Grackle, he's basically like a relatively newer player.
Uh-huh.
And in the course of playing with him, there were things that I was like telling him when he was just like, what the hell are you even talking about? Like, how is that even a thing? And it was just things that like I've taken for granted as playing, Destiny, the series for 7 years. And he just basically started it for about basically like 7 months ago. So my question to you guys, I'll give you an example as well, but what's something that you maybe that the game doesn't tell you, but that like what to do kind of thing? So what I mean by that is like for the inverted spire, on the second stage of that boss fight,
mm-hmm.
There's those like little like raised areas that stick up out of the ground, like the big circular thing, and then they have that little like offshoot on there too.
Oh yeah.
If you stand up on those and he hits the ground and burns the ground, you can stand on those and you don't get hurt.
Oh, you're just not finding out about that? I've always been using
this. I knew this. I'm saying I told him this, and he was just like, "What?"
Astacross just found out that worked. I saw his video about doing the Grandmasters. He goes, "I just now found out that I can stand on those pillars and not burn."
Yeah,
yeah.
So
good point.
Can you think of like anything else that you'd want to like tell like a new Guardian kind of thing? Like, hey, this is something that you may not know. And I mean, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt, like with not counting like what is it? Like heroic public events kind of thing.
Right. The special little mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not counting those. I'm saying like little things.
Broke?
One thing that like, meta stuff is fine, but new players, don't get hung up on the meta. Because like you have all these people, you gotta get this god roll of this gun. You may find a different version of that gun that's absolutely perfect for your playstyle. Mm-hmm. But I know that's something that like, it's not it's like, who cares? Like, because I have like 2 Fatebringers. They're definitely not the meta. They're not bad, but they're not the meta. But I love them, and they play into my playstyle perfectly.
Yeah,
I've had that since D1. Like, I had guns that like they were not the meta in any way, shape, or form. But I would get high kill streaks and stuff with in Crucible, and they're like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it works for how I play.
Would you?
That's definitely one of them.
Would you say you're being anti-meta? Maybe if we say it 3 times. Maybe if we say that 3 times, maybe it'll come back.
not on purpose, but I mean,
yeah.
I find what works for you. Meta is great and all, but find what works for you, because you don't play like the Grenadier Jakes or.
Mm-hmm.
The data, like you may not play in a style that fits with how they tell you should play it. That's part of the beauty of Destiny is like play your way.
Yeah. Good point.
They do kind of punish you. I mean, Crucible is one of those that's kind of hard just because everybody runs the same weapons because they work, but.
Right. This is what I love about Battlefield. All the guns are pretty much fire the same. The bullet drop's fairly the same. The guns are they have tiny little characteristics that make them easier to use or more difficult with a higher skill level, but, higher skill ceiling. That's the one thing I always loved about Battlefield. And the one thing I would say, I'm looking at different names here on the screen. The one thing I would say, Hazel, I'm trying to coach my probably my future son-in-law how to play Destiny. He's an MMO RPG player, and he's got what I would call Destiny-itis. He's like, gets home from work, boom, Destiny. anytime he has Destiny. And we've been messaging back and forth. We've been DMing on Discord here, and I've been trying to send him some help videos and stuff. But what I take for granted is how much I really know about this game, all the little ins and outs about this game that he has no clue. Like I'll give you an example. The other day, he just got his magnificent armor, the final armor for one of his characters, and he's like, "Do you think I should start another character for the other two?" And I sent him a video by Jarv on YouTube, how to get high stat armor, and this is one thing he didn't even know. I said, "Dude, your blue armor drops at 1300, regardless of what light level you are. If not that, it might be the next armor, the legendary. But you could start a character, do the basic stuff just to get rolling, go play EAZ, talk to Grandma at the tower, Eva, and she'll give you armor that boom brings you right up." And they've done that every year, by the way. Every year, if you have a character that's low level that you don't play a lot, I did one of my alt accounts. I went to one of my alt accounts because I hadn't played it forever, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get this armor because it'll bring me to 1300 like that. I mean, that's 200 light levels, and just like that. So he didn't know that, and just little things like that, little tips and tricks that you don't think about.
Probably, those things like the guns. Like, you get one character, get them up really high, transfer their guns to the other character, even if you don't have, even if you're not going to use them, have them on that character, and it brings up your light level drops anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
You
don't even need it on that character anymore.
No, not anymore. It's smart. It's smart now. It just knows. But
yeah, it takes your highest light level, including everything. The only thing is it doesn't take into consideration what you have in your postmaster.
Yeah, true. Well,
but, I mean, I bet there's a lot of small things like that. Like until you hit the cap, it's smart to buy. Use your stuff and upgrade gunsmith and all that, and use your tokens and all, because they actually mean something and can get you higher light. Once you hit the caps, they're useless. But
right.
Yeah. One thing I thought of on this topic was I was running the expunge corrupted missions, and those black orb balls. You can actually shoot those once they open up. Once they start shaking and stuff like that, you can shoot them, and then they won't explode.
I don't know that because I just run through. Like Justin and Stu find out where it is, because I can get us through most of those really quick because I can do the intro into the actual part before either of them.
And you pull them.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Gatr, you know something about that, don't you?
What?
Well, we've done it because we were just let's do the ones with the time trials for the seasonal challenges, and we knocked him out pretty quickly because it's like, okay, he's gonna go in and just knock this out, and we'll just catch up with him later.
Yeah. Hazel's referring to the time we ran. I think you're referring to this where you would just pull me through. So I was clueless. Yeah.
Because he was complaining about how many times he died, and I'm like, oh. Okay, well, you don't have to worry about it now. Now, if you die, I'll just pull your ass anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, nice mechanic. That's for sure.
It actually is a good mechanic because there are ones where they, some of the old things, like the one for getting the pulse rifle that shoots the nanites. I'm blanking on the name of it. Outbreak Perfected.
Yeah.
Or, where that mission, it never pulls you forward. So you can basically get stuck at a part and everyone else moves forward, and it's like they get to the final boss and it's like, I'm still coming, guys, I'll eventually be there, and you never get there.
Yeah, and they're two-manning it, trying to get there. Yeah, I was watching that with I think it was Gatr, Sin, and Jealous. I think you three were doing that.
Might have been
right there at the end, and
right.
I felt so bad for you, man. I'll say that, and I'll be honest. I was like, oh, I hope he gets there soon.
Yeah.
So that was a rough one, though.
I don't like time stuff. I don't like time events. I've expressed this before, but It's my pet peeve with Destiny, activities, but let me go at my pace. Anyway. Yeah, good topic, man. I like that topic. Is there anything else you want to mention?
Well, I was just going to throw out to our listeners. So just go ahead and in the Discord, just go ahead and just, in the show feedback, just throw out any like kind of tips for like new Guardians that we all know and love Bungie for their, their ability to impeccably tell you exactly what to do and everything else. And for anybody who doesn't know that's a joke. So yeah, just go ahead and let's start kind of putting in some tips and things like that they don't tell you. And
we get some new players in there. We could use it
because we definitely have some new players, and they're looking for any tips that you can give.
Maybe we can make a channel, tips for beginners or something.
Ooh,
maybe do something like that.
I like it.
Just call it Just the Tips.
Just a tip. Just a tip. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I realized how convoluted. I mean, even Taco, which is he's my daughter's boyfriend, and he would message me. Excuse me. He would message me and say, "I did the New Light story. What do I do now? How do I get to where I need to go?" And I'm like, "Oh man, where do I start?" You almost need a book to realize how to do it. So, yeah, I totally get that inside joke there, Hazel. It's not the most friendly for new players if you haven't been playing already. And I'm learning team fight tactics on League of Legends right now, and I'm lost too. So I guess all games have this issue if you haven't been playing since the beginning. But I don't know. It's just part of video games, I guess. But yeah, maybe we'll make a channel.
Long-lived video games. If
yes.
you haven't played from for a while.
Yeah.
Like I played StarCraft back when and I went back to play it now, and I was like, I'll play multiplayer. I remember that was fun, and it's like it's a completely different way of being played now, and like it's like, okay, I got it. I suck now, even though I'm playing the same. It's completely changed. It's because I didn't keep up with it.
Well, for the one and done games out there, Cyberpunk, you don't really have to worry about it because everyone gets through the content and they're moving on to something else. Yeah. So,
would you say one and half done?
Oh, we should probably be quiet.
You're welcome. Okay. Sorry, I stole Baroque's thunder there.
Not really.
All right.
Funny.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Good conversation. Good conversation. I love it when we get into Destiny, get deep. Oh man, that didn't sound good at all. Anyway, we get deep into a content. I'm just going to stop there. Let's take a break, stretch our legs, use a little boys' room, and let's come back and answer community questions. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some good ones. We'll be right back.
Hey Guardians, would you like to send us a question for the show? Well, there's 4 ways to do it.
Number 1, join our Discord server. There's a join link in our show notes. We have some great gamers in there, by the way, and you can just lurk or hang out or jump right in and talk with us. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show.
You can also email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also tweet out almost every week about our upcoming show, guest, and you can respond there with your questions at guardian_d_cast is our Twitter handle.
Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your questions at speakpipe.com/guardiandowncast. Remember, that's all one word. And we'll play it on the show for you guys.
Speakpipe is honestly my favorite thing. But anyway, thank you for all you guys do, and toddles.
And later, Guardian. All right, boys and girls, it is that time of the week. This is where we get our questions from our community. And we're going to start out with a speak pipe right off the bat here, and this is from our favorite uncle. And I'm going to play it right now.
Hello, Scumdeath here. I've been holding out on The Witcher 3 on Switch for quite a while now because it's still expensive, obviously, on Switch. But Moshi Mac has just informed me that it's now $17.99 English pounds. So I think I might buy it. But my question to you is, which game have you held off on until you found the right price that you're going to buy it at? And what game was that? And what price was it? Love you.
Thank you, Mr. Scumdeath. What game have we held out for the price to be in line with what we can afford, I guess, or want to pay? You guys think of something?
I always have games I'm like, I'm willing to wait on that one. I know one of the last ones I did it for was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And then I found it on sale for $20, just the base game. And I'm like, I'm buying that because at $20, even if I don't like it, I can, I'll probably get 20. And it's a great game. And then they, gave it away free like 2 years later. But, that's beside the point.
Hazel, anything come to mind for you?
Yeah, one definitely did. I stalked this damn game for, a long time. And it's actually because of Scumdeath, actually.
Really?
Yeah. It's Persona 5. Because this thing was like price, and probably still is full price right now, if you look at it. But I stalked this thing for, I want to say months, maybe even like a year or two. Just to find it at a decent price. And I think I ended up paying like $30 for it because it was on sale. And I was just like, all right, that's the cheapest it's been. I'm going for it. So, yeah.
Well, for most games I'm stalking, it's usually on Steam. And what I love about Steam is they have a what's called a wish list or something, and they'll keep an eye on whatever game you chose. And I'm just looking at my wish list right now, and it was the new Star Wars game. I think you played it, didn't you, Hazel?
Yeah.
You're gonna make me think of it, aren't you?
I am.
Damn it. Wish list. Where the hell's my... Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order. And that I had that on my wish list for a while, and I've gotten a couple notices that it dropped like $10. But I just play Destiny. So I didn't buy it.
Yeah. It is free on Game Pass, by the way.
Game Pass is probably one of the best values right now out in gaming.
Yes, this is what I hear. And
well, it really is. Like I was one of the guys who took advantage of the upgrade your current, thing for $1. And what I did is I went and bought Xbox Gold at the time and maxed it out to the 3 years. So I had to wait a day. So I had under 3 years because you couldn't upgrade it unless you had under 3 years.
Right.
So I literally had 2 years and all but 1 day, and I upgraded it for $1. So I don't have to worry about it. I still think I have like a year and a half.
Nice.
Or I have time. But I use it because I have the Ultimate. You can also get quite a few games for your PC.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the real value for me comes in, because it's like, I can just buy a PC game. Like No Man's Sky, I played it. I can't play it on my Xbox because I don't know the controls at all. I can play the hell out of it on my PC, though.
Right. See, Game Pass doesn't work for me because it's not my style of gaming. I get a game and I drill down on it. I want to get good and at every aspect of the game. And soon it'll be Battlefield. Battlefield will be sharing time with Destiny this year. That's a promise. Unless EA just totally drops the ball and makes a crap game, which it's always out there because it's EA. But I heavily believe in DICE. I really love their studio and what they've done for this genre of games.
Yeah, my buddy asked me if I was going to get it, and I'm hesitant because it's like the price for just a multiplayer only game, and I'm like,
yeah, that's true.
I'm a little hesitant because I'm like, I've played a few of the Battlefield games, and I do love their single player campaigns. They are always fantastic. Mm-hmm. Like Battlefield 3, I think I'm missing one achievement, and that's just because I can't get the timing quite right.
Well, do you remember in Battlefield 4, you would actually unlock weapons for multiplayer when you completed missions? Yes. I love that. Now they're not bringing back story mode. I'm like, okay. I'm okay with it. And I'd rather them put more of that content into multiplayer because that's where the real game is anyway. But man, there's nothing.
Where you spend 90% of the time. But it was, they did have a good, it's like Call of Duty. I still play the story. Mm-hmm. I know I'm in the minority there, but I do like the stories. I mean, plus it's always a good way, like even if I don't finish the story in the first go, right, it's a good way to get familiar with the way that game does play.
I was just going to say that. The new weapons, the new mechanics, it makes you use a lot of the different weapons that they're introducing in multiplayer and Call of Duty. They've always done that very well. It's like a little warm-up before you jump in. Yeah, I agree, man. That's a good idea. Okay, I'm going to start us off on Discord tonight, and this is from Shadow Soldier. He's one of our newer members of our Discord. Welcome. Question for the show. Besides Gator's foot fascination, what was something that you do or like that you haven't defended because it's really not that weird? We always go to you first, Barbecue.
Great. Will I do that? I don't think it's weird. I don't have anything that I have to defend because it's not really. My music taste would be the only thing. I don't think it's weird. It's unique and
sure
varied.
That's a spice of life, man. It's different kinds of music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hazel, you got any quirks that you don't think are weird?
Just the one that I got called out on from my wife about organizing the spices by alphabet.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think that goes to everybody has some bit of OCD in them.
I agree, man.
Like for me, I can't have volumes at odd numbers. My wife thinks it's the funniest thing. Like in the car, if she puts it to 7, I will fix it so it's either 6 or 8.
Right.
I found out mine. I'm not the only one that has this, where it's like it has to be even numbers or multiples of 5, because apparently a 5 is not odd numbers, so it works. And it doesn't bug me. But the other ones, like volume at a 7, bugs me.
I don't know what people think is so weird about liking feet. I just don't get that. I admire a woman who takes care of her feet. Is there anything wrong with that, really?
I don't get the foot fetish thing, but then again, I'm not going to be like, that's weird. It's like, it
is what it is, I guess.
People, everybody has their thing that, they find over the top. Like, I like a woman who wears glasses. No joke.
Absolutely. It's sexy as hell on a woman. My wife just got readers. I'm like, oh, yeah.
My wife has always worn glasses.
Oh, okay.
So, that wasn't one of the things that I call that a bonus.
That's exactly. It's icing on the cake, man. Exactly. All right, I'll give you another golden nugget here, Shadow Soldier. Give you something to chew on. As a kid, I used to lick the top of Comet cans. You know the Comet, the powdered, chlorine dust or whatever it was that cleans stuff?
Yes, the
I used to lick.
Cleaning.
I used to lick the top of that. I loved it. And my mom would catch me doing it.
So much.
It's probably why I can't remember anything now. It might be kicking in. Might have a little brain damage, I'm sure.
Now I'm thinking of, there was that brief time when I tried, what was it? Like fucking fabric softener.
Oh, the pods?
No.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I'm not a fucking millennial.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I guess I am a millennial, but
yeah, you are.
Not a Gen Zer.
You're not a Zoomer. I inform my kids they're all Zoomers. They're like, no, we're millennials. I'm like, no, look it up. You fall right. My son is born in 97, so he's right at the edge, like I am with Generation X, and he's the oldest Zoomer right now because it starts at 97 or 96, I think. So
I don't know. I'm in that weird age with that weird group where they keep trying to redefine it, where you're a zillennial, you're a elder millennial. Like, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm old. I
just say I'm Gen X.
Which was that was a nice compliment because we went to bank to deal with something, and the lady in there was like, "Oh, you guys are young," and I'm like, "Damn, can I just thank you right there because no one has said I'm young in a long time."
I know, man. Yeah. You get less and less of those compliments, too, as you get older, too. Harder to get around it. I'm
turning 40 this year, so I'm like, I'll take someone saying I'm young.
God, I'd love to be 40 again. Anyway, moving on. Hazel, why don't you find another one there, sir?
That's funny.
Now I feel old.
Yeah. I get the opposite thing. I get the, oh, wow, you look like young for your age.
My favorite is, well, at least it's not the other way where you tell them like, oh yeah, I'm this old, and they're like, oh, like there's some people I see on TV and it's just like, that is a rough ass 26. Like, damn, what happened in their life?
Yeah. They were, what is it? Rolled hard and put away wet.
Yeah.
All right. I like this one. So, and not just because he helped me do my my quest, but Red Grackle. Fresh question for the show. What music, if any, makes you nostalgic for the 8-bit or 16-bit era of gaming? For me, it's the Green Hill Zone theme from Sonic the Hedgehog and the original Tecmo Bowl gameplay music.
That's a great song.
I know, right?
Tecmo Bowl, man, that brings me back.
Tecmo Bowl reminds me of the old 80s TV show, and that was like the grand prize no matter what. I was like, and a copy of Tecmo Bowl, like every time they won. It was like somebody's temple, like the temple game, like, and that was just like, that was always the prize. Like they must have had like hundreds of copies of this, and they were just like, give them out. You didn't make it to the final section, but you win Tecmo Bowl. Like, damn.
How about the beginning of Pac-Man? You would get that little song before you could even start playing. That brings me back too.
One that definitely brings me back is the intro of the title screen to The Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one too.
Yep. Those are all good.
Or the very intro to like Final Fantasy, just that, like it's just like, that was childhood.
How was that again? Mm-hmm. I didn't hear it. You cut out.
Final Fantasy. Just like you turn it on and like it starts playing just the, little score. And I mean, it was.
How did it go again? I can't remember.
You're going to make me trying to say this again. You're going to record it, you bastard. I know you.
I'm sorry. Hazel, what's your answer, man?
He is shameless.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, those are all good, but you're all wrong.
What?
Yeah, you're all wrong.
Okay.
It's Tetris.
That's a good one. Damn, that song would be in my head forever.
I know, right?
It's coming back to my head already.
You're right. You keep saying this. I keep reminding myself, like one that I used to have it as a text message, and it was the training music in between levels on Punch-Out.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. The little cutscene. That was awesome.
With him running and
yeah, that was so good. Dude. Oh, my God.
There's a lot of those, but it's a lot of Nintendo era games for me. Yeah. Like they just, that 8-bit chiptune, horrible, music that,
right.
But back then like I see those memes and it's like what you thought it looked like and then what it really looked like. And I'm like, yeah, shut up. That was it. Cause I remember like when the 64 came out, I'm like, how the hell are they ever going to make anything look more realistic than this? And now you kind of like, oh.
Yeah. Superman didn't look like that.
Mm-hmm.
My imagination was really like that advanced graphics chip.
Yeah.
See, this is the reason why I love video games today, and I can't wait to be one of the first senior citizen gamers because we were there since the beginning when they were just struggling to put an 8-bit Atari chip, just to play a flat game where a crocodile would open his mouth and you had to swing on a little line over a great song over a pea puddle. That's a good one too.
That yodel that he does.
Yeah.
I do love Pitfall just because like that was Jack Black's first real acting career too. He was in the commercial for that.
Oh yeah. That's true. That's right. All right. I got one here from one of our mods in our Discord, Chubby Wizard. Question for the show. So I can totally empathize with the two fallen trying to figure out the vending machine by the drifter. I've been wanting to use the vending machines forever. I would love it if Bungie made a quest or currency where we could use them. What do you guys think? Would you like it if there were offbeat kind of goofy missions like that in the game? Thanks, love the show.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Didn't they have the disco, the music machine in the old
Destiny? Yeah, they had
Destiny?
the jukebox where you could go down in the little.
I went down there
play a few songs
all the time. I went down there.
Well, also you had the key too, and you had the dance party.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had the little 30-second song or something. Little party.
Some of those are great, like Borderlands 3, Borderlands series. They will have just random little mini games throughout the thing, like. You can get stuff from them. You go to this area, and if you shoot like a tire, all of a sudden it's like, oh, look, it's like a little mini game. Does it affect the gameplay at all? Not really. Can you win a cool gun? Yeah. But, in that game, it's like, it's one of like a bajillion guns, and they really do have a bajillion guns. But, I don't mind stupid, mindless things like that. Like the tire game on the moon.
Oh yeah,
I know I've spent way too much time there.
I remember they had to patch that. I remember they had to patch that because it wasn't working right. The tire would like float away or something.
That should prove that little mini games that don't have a ton of like, even if you put stuff in there like a shooting range, and you could get like a legendary engram. Cool. Yeah. People will go do it. Why? Because people will take, even if it's just a base thing, and be like, here's what I got. And it's going to turn into something beyond the simple game. But people love that. That's the kind of stuff that makes people want to play games more.
Yes. And it'll also be something they're nostalgic when the game passes. They'll go, remember in Destiny 2, you could use the vending machines? That was so cool. You get a Zagnut bar or something would fall out at the bottom.
Yeah. Like, even if, like, you did it and, like, you got a special current, like, you do certain activities and you get a vending machine token and it gave you chroma for the week.
Or a spicy ramen ticket.
If it gave you, like, a color of the week. So,
that's great. A shader machine. That would be awesome. Yes. A different shader.
Yeah, like a chance at a new shader. Like, even if it was that. Okay, you can put your earned tokens of some kind into here, and it can get you a shader you don't have, or like something like that beyond Eververse and all that. But just something random, and even if most of the time it just gives you glimmer or weapons parts or something like that, but just the chance, people will eat that up. Why? It's something to do.
You want us to hang out? You want us to hang out at the tower? There's a reason why. Just if you're just talking with friends and stuff. And what is it about getting booted from the tower if you're not moving for like 10 seconds when you're with your group? Come on, Bungie. It's like you have a group that flies in and you're looking at something on your menu, and as soon as they leave, boom, you're kicked right before they leave.
Yeah, you know how you fix that?
How?
You get the excessive elbows dance. You get a group of 6 people. You find a random person and you surround them, and you just do it so they can't move. And all they do is when they come back into their menu, they just see 6 Guardians doing the excessive elbows dance.
That'll work. Nice. Yeah, I had someone wanting me to join their music celebration when I pulled into the tower the other day. I was like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little rushed. Sorry.
He blamed COVID, and then he turned it off.
Bounties to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we all want to see this. I mean, I'd like to see him. Baroque's idea is awesome, but I would just like to be able to buy those guys a
yeah.
But like, here.
You could have a little animation.
Items like, you own a candy bar, and it's like, the toothbrush from the, Haunted Forest, like all those.
Yeah.
Sure. nobody would care. Why? Because it's literally just something that you can collect and have bragging rights of, yep, I have 47, D-nut bars or,
Right.
I was there kind of thing.
Exactly my point. It's nostalgia. It attaches you to that year that you played the game and stuff. So, all right, good question, Chubby Wizard. Thanks for that. Hazel, let's grab another one.
All right. So, I guess we are just going to pick these questions. So, Vunder Teox, Photogenicus. Question for the show.
Hi, Laz.
How? If you could bring back one activity that's been vaulted since Beyond Light came out, what activity would you bring back and why?
I know we've had this talk, and I think Menagerie was one of those.
Yeah.
The way that one worked was great because it was never a set encounter. It was the same set of things, but you could do them in any order, and they were kind of interesting. And that was one, I think a lot of people, I liked it, and it was, I have nothing, I'll go matchmake with that. I think that's what they really need is big match-made 6-man events that are more than just shoot the thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Some coordination required. And then stand here and shoot this. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was like a light raid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would bring back Blind Wells.
They're not fucking gone.
They're not? What?
He said he's still around.
Hold on, I gotta turn my game on. Hold on a sec. Really? All
You
right.
are not fucking editing that out at all.
I'm just kidding. No, I was seriously. I was just playing.
He is being 100% serious.
Fuck.
Did you hear that, listener?
Yeah. I'll leave it in. What's your answer, Hazel?
Mine has to be Leviathan, man. You know, bring back the 3 raids.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? I love that. I've got so many clears on that place. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, some really good conversations and playing that Leviathan raid with your usual raid buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Good question. All right.
What about you? What was your answer? Besides Blind Well?
All right. If you're going to press me on it, I would say Crucible. Bring back the Crucible. I'm half joking, but I'm serious. Please. Could you please bring back some Crucible maps? That'd be nice. Some old...
Yeah, bring back, or just put some more in there.
Yeah, even bring them back. I mean, we don't care about the lore, about it containing, the planet's no longer there. I mean, I think we're playing certain missions where the planet's not there anymore anyway. But
we're doing a raid.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Exactly. My point. So, yeah. I got one from Minor. Question for the show. Would you rather have to deal with extreme heat or extreme cold?
Move to the right place and you get to deal with both.
Well, that's an easy answer for me. I'm in Florida for a reason. I don't want to deal with extreme cold. Hazel?
Extreme cold for me. You can always put on more clothes.
You can only take off so much. That's actually how I feel. It's just,
Yeah, I like to move, though, freely. In like a t-shirt and shorts. And I can do that in extreme heat. I don't get the cold stuff. I really don't. Anyway, just me, I guess. Okay. Did I read that one or did you read that one?
I believe you read that.
Okay, your turn then. I think we finally are to the pinned questions portion. We exceeded our pinned limit again this week.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to keep fucking moving in order, I guess. So, question for the show. Life's tough right now. This is from Rye for short.
Mm-hmm.
Never been harder than it is, but it can only get better, right? What ways do you pull yourself up, dust yourself off, when shit goes south?
Good question. I mean, we're all dealing with it, aren't we? A little bit.
Yeah.
One thing I did, it's, I work with computers, I play video games, and every now and then it gets too much. So I actually started building models. I build the little Gundam models as kind of a get away from everything. And I'll put on, sometimes I put stuff on in the background, either music or I put on a show that like I don't need to watch intently, just kind of background noise as I build them. But, I spend most of my time focusing on that. And it's just kind of nice. It's something completely different, but it works.
Mm-hmm. Before I give you my answer, I just want to mention that we have actually a mental health resources self-help channel. Self-help techniques, little what do you call them? Life hacks, you could call them. Yeah. Chris 3711 gave us all this information. He put a lot of work into that channel. So if you ever need little life hacks on how to pick yourself up, look at our channel, Mental Health Resources. It's self-help techniques. And even some positive reinforcement stuff in there. I've always been one to like that stuff. So thanks for that, Chris. Here's what I do. Every beginning of the school season, my wife gets overwhelmed. The school's on fire. Not really literally, but everyone is behind. This is due then. This is, you get overwhelmed. Everything's coming at you all at once. When that happens, you know what I tell her to do? Freeze.
What?
Freeze it. Like you do in the Matrix. You just say no. And the bullets freeze, right? Take one of those bullets, one at a time. The human brain can really only do one thing at a time. Break it down into steps. Break it down into singular missions, just like we play bounties or we do missions in Destiny. Same thing in life. Gamify it. Break it down into missions. And when you get that task complete, right next to it, win or 5 points or something like that. I got that from Bill Phillips, Body for Life. He's a bodybuilder, and they do. This is kind of show my age, but they had health. I think they still do. They have Body for Life contests where people transform from obese to fitness models, basically, and just baby steps. Break it down into attainable steps, attainable goals that you can focus on that one thing at one time. I'm telling you, that has been a life hack that works for me every time. I mean, I run my own business. I'll have weeks where it's raining, the truck's crapped out, some equipment isn't working right, and I literally just sit there and freeze it. Just like in the Matrix, I just say no. Freeze it, freeze your day, and start picking apart step by step what you need to do to get through the day. And I'm telling you, it works really well.
Interesting.
My wife rolls her eyes when I say that, by the way, just for your information, but it may not work for everybody, but that's the way my brain functions. And I break things down into achievable little steps. How do you eat an elephant, right?
One bite at a time.
Exactly.
Huh.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I kind of do something similar. Mm-hmm. Basically, like when shit's going bad, I just sort of stop and think about everything. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, so what's going on? Why is shit going bad? And then I'll try to trace it back to like one thing. Right. So it's like, I woke up late and that led to this, which led to this, which led to this, which led to me just feeling like a general, douche. Mm-hmm. So what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll go like, all right, so what am I going to do to fix that for tomorrow? And immediately, like when I solve it for tomorrow, my day immediately gets better today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to sound hokey when I say this, but I actually got that from Lost.
Really?
The TV show.
Really?
Because that's what Jack says, was basically he was like doing an operation on a kid and he cuts his dural sac and all these things are like spreading out, like nerve endings and things like this. And he's freaking out.
Right.
And he just freaks out. He just goes with it for like 5 seconds. And then he just like pulls himself back together again. And he's like, all right, let's go with this.
Good way to live. Yeah. Have the
It's
human
a natural emotion. It's a natural emotion.
I was going to say that. Have the human experience and then rein it in. That's kind of what I do when I say freeze or when I say no or stop or whatever. Kind of the same thing what you're talking about, but you're more analytical about it. By the way, Ronan Red Lion asked that question back in June. What's the most interesting life hack you've recently discovered? So I think we can cross that off the list. I think we've listed 3 good life hacks there, right? When you say?
I don't know that's the best.
Most interesting life hack you've recently discovered? Is there something else that comes to mind? Either of you?
No, I'm not very good at the life hacks. Unless like I'm doing something and it's like, oh yeah, this. But
I'm old and set in my ways, and I have my certain ways of dealing with craziness in the world. And that's the best thing I can come up with for you, for both you guys. Hazel?
I don't know. That's not mine, but
okay.
I'll have to think about it.
We'll come back to it. Okay. All right. I'll keep moving. Man, Sneaky Snake had a lot of these in here. I got to get to some of his questions he posted a while ago. All right. From this one's from Sweaty Spooks from back a while ago. He says, how do you keep it real for your peeps? I show my peeps I'm keeping it real when I get behind that mouse and keyboard and slay out 11 to 13 minutes Master Nightfalls with my good pals Nolsey and Mohafo. Yeah, boy. So how do you keep it real with your peeps?
Don't be fake. Like, I don't see the point. That's just me in general. I don't get the point of like, puffing myself up or making it, seem like I'm something I'm not. I'm just me.
Yeah.
All the time. Work, home, everything. There's no, I don't see the point in that. Like, even with video games, the people who, they get hacks and cheats and this and they cheat in the games and it's like, what's the point of having like a 17 KD
if it's not really
if it's not real? It's what does that get you? Bragging right over something that's not real? I'd rather work my butt off to have a 1 KD. When I was a 0.75 guy before, I'd because then at least it means something.
Yeah. Yeah, I can go down a road on that question. Yeah. I don't understand cheats and cheating other than to flash an emblem or a bounty or something. But deep down, all you're cheating is yourself. Because deep down, your inner self knows you didn't earn it. And it really is going to take the value away from it. So, yeah, I agree there.
I don't think it matters.
It's a game. I know it's just a game, but still, to have that attitude in a game means you probably have that attitude in life at some point.
Oh, no.
You don't think so?
No.
Cheating to get ahead or something?
No. It's 2 different things, man.
Okay.
What does it hurt if you cheat in the game?
I mean, we've all used glitches and things that's in the game, not something I'm putting into the game from a flash drive or something. But we've all done that. I mean, if there's an easy way to do it,
I just don't see the difference there. I mean, to me, you could even say that me using, a scout rifle to shoot somebody who's not shooting at me is a glitch as well.
No, if you're playing the game as intended, using the game as intended, that's fine. I don't care. Like Call of Duty, I hate quickscopers. They cater to quickscopers. I think it's the stupidest mechanic because it was like a glitch someone found and then they've catered to it.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? They're not cheating by using quickscoping. I just hate it. Now, if you're using an aimbot and quickscoping, now I have a issue. That's the difference.
Right.
I love how I derailed this question completely.
That's all right. That's okay. I mean, it's a hot topic.
It's a real. But I mean, it was just what a genuine answer. It's like, don't be fake, and then you don't have to keep it real. It's just
who you are.
It's just who you are.
And Sweaty Spooks at the bottom says, bounties don't count, Gatr. That's for yourself, my guy. Hazel, how do you keep it real, man, for your peeps?
Well, if I'm playing Destiny, I play as a Titan no matter what class I am. I like punching the shit out of stuff. So
let's keep it real.
Being true to yourself.
Exactly. There we go.
Your true nature. Yeah. I guess the most real I get is when I play Iron Banner with my Iron Banner guys, my peeps. And, I actually play more relaxed when I'm with a bunch of friends than I do if I go into a solo queue playlist. So yeah, that's how I keep it real. I mean, we talk about life, we talk about kids, we talk about whatever, and we're just playing, it's just like you said, it's being real, being a real person. So, okay. That was one of our older questions. I want to make sure we got one of those out. Hazel, let's go a few more here. I'm watching the clock.
I'm curious about this one actually, because I'm thinking there might be a story involved. I don't know.
Oh no.
Might just be me.
Why am I worried right now?
I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe you should be. So question is, what's the worst movie you've ever seen? From Snail and Trails.
Oh, my daughter. Okay. Yeah. Good question. I tell you what, I can give you, this is not because she has no knowledge of this, but we saw, I went with my parents this weekend. Yeah, this last weekend. My dad's feeling better now. He's wanting to get out and do stuff. And I said, I wasn't going to bring him to see Black Widow. I mean, I want to see that in the big screen, but he has a little podunk theater near his house that we go to. It's still an AMC, but it's like a mall that's like almost dead. And it's just a theater's the only thing keeping it alive. And it's just old theaters, but they have nice recliners in there. But we saw the movie, the Hitman's, the bodyguard's wife. Dude, that was, have you ever, a bad movie when you go into the movie and you're wondering at the beginning, like a quarter of the way through the movie, hey guys, where are we going with this movie? Where are we going with this story? What little bit of story there is. And I got to tell you, man, I've seen some rotten egg movies. That one was terrible. Don't waste your money on that movie. I mean, I know it has some big names in it, but that was just a horrible movie. And I felt bad because my parents hadn't been out in a while, and they went. I felt bad because I arranged everything, got their tickets and everything, and their first time to a movie, and it's this movie. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I honestly just went to the movie just so we can go get dinner afterwards. But my mom said, well, what about the Spider-Man movie? I heard there's a Spider-Man movie. I'm like, no, Mom, it's not Spider-Man. It's Black Widow. She goes, what about that movie? I felt bad. I'm like, oh, it was already full. It's a little white lie. But anyway. Worst movie? Barbecue?
Freddy Got Fingered.
What?
Oh, nice.
If you haven't seen it, you're not missing anything. It's Tom Green. It was his first solo act movie.
Oh, yes.
And it is just, I went with two buddies and we were like, yeah, it's going to be funny. And it's like, you ended up laughing in it, but it was that really awkward laugh because you had nothing else. You didn't know what to do kind of thing.
Mm.
But, I mean, to make you, if you really want to know, at one point he jerks off an elephant to spray down his dad.
Oh my God. Jeez.
So, it's a horrible movie. Like, there's nothing about it that's redeeming. Like, it's just a waste of your time. I can't even recommend it to, if you just really want to see a horrible movie, it's just don't go see it.
Poor Tom Green. He just got some really crappy scripts, man. Guy never had a chance.
He directed that movie.
That was his movie. That's just
bad.
This isn't you can feel bad for him because you watch it and this is literally this is what Tom Green's mind is, isn't it?
You're probably right. You're probably right. But man, all the movies he was in or made or whatever were just so stupid.
Well, I mean, yeah, like Road Trip, he was in that, and it's like he played a weird guy, but it actually worked out pretty good for his,
his persona,
him.
right?
But yeah, then you like that's why we were like, oh, he was pretty funny in that and this, and then you go see that, and it's just like, what the hell happened? Like you like walk out and it's like, what the hell did I just watch?
I'm telling you, I've been in those movies. You walk out and you're just shaking your head, going, "That was a waste of 2 hours of my life. That was a waste, total waste of time. I should have walked out, but the cheapskate in me is like, I already bought it. I'm watching it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a Karen and like this movie's horrible.
I'm not.
I have my money back.
Yeah, I've never ever asked for my money back on a movie.
I can't because it's like I'm the one that's taking a chance on this. Not, it's not the theater's fault if, I made a poor decision. Right. I mean, I just, play that scene from Indiana Jones, you chose poorly.
Exactly.
It'd be fun to go back to them and go like, hey, this movie wasn't good. Can I get my money back?
Go back. This movie was hot garbage, which is the new phrase around here because my wife said it one time about my oldest watching YouTube videos. And now my youngest thinks that's the greatest way to describe stuff.
It is a good way to describe
it. She'll like, oh, you're asking something. She's like, Ella, hot garbage. It's like, okay. I mean, it's just, that's what it is. Like, so we joke around it. My oldest gets a little, flustered about it. Like, but we just find it hilarious because, her baby sister is saying that what she does is hot garbage.
Let's see. You asked that. So I've got one from Sneaky Snake here.
I didn't answer.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I assume that you answer right off the bat. I don't know why. Every time you do that, I do that. I don't know. Sorry. worst movie, Hazel. What do you got?
Yeah. So I was on a streak there where I was watching like really like bad action movies. And it was basically like this one here. I actually looked it up. I have notes about it. It was from 2012.
You wrote notes?
I wrote notes about a shitty movie. It was directed by Peter Berg, who's actually a relatively good director.
Yeah.
And this one has a 34% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's called Battleship.
Oh
my gosh.
I remember that one.
This was fucking terrible.
That's a Peter Berg money grab.
I need to have a new pool put in. So
yeah.
here.
Hey, honey, you want that wing put on? Hold on. I got to call someone real quick. It's been bugging me.
That was with Brooklyn Decker?
Yeah.
Like, who was only in it, I swear. Like, they put her in the movie. It's like, we need a hot chick. Get her.
They had Rihanna.
That was one of her earlier forays into acting, too. So she wasn't really going to be a pole. Because they didn't that wasn't who was, the big ticket actress in the movie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think a lot of people in that movie were just trying to do add-ons to their house and stuff.
I'm telling you can tell the money grab movies almost right off the bat.
Well, I mean, that was great because, they're not going to sink this battleship. I mean, that's an actual line from the movie. It's like, okay, you guys are, you're trying a little hard here.
I guarantee you that Hitman's bodyguard's wife or whatever, that was I said it when I walked out. I said that was a Ryan Reynolds money grab. It's COVID times. He needed some money to come in, and he took that crappy movie. Yep. Sneaky Snake. Let's see. Question for the show: would you rather be bald, have a bowl cut, or a mediocre mullet? You can only choose those three.
Well, I'm already kind of going bald, so I mean, that's really not a big problem there. Now, if I have a bowl cut, do I actually have the hair to pull it off?
He doesn't specify that, but let's assume that's the case. You're going to look like
I'll like a bowl cut.
You're going to look like a Three Stooge.
Damn straight. I'll rock that look and make it look fabulous. I'd have hair again.
You'll be bringing it back, man.
I'll frost that bad boy,
Hazel?
If I could, I would do the bald all the way. So that way I could stop shaving my head.
I hear you, man. You know what? I'm in the South. I could get away with a mediocre mullet. That'd mean I have more hair, too. So, yeah. I'll go with a mullet.
If you have the mediocre mullet, you got to drive an El Camino, the mullet of vehicles.
Or a Trans Am, one of the two.
The mullet.
All right. Yeah, good question. All right. What do you think? Couple more here, Hazel?
Probably just maybe one more.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
All right.
So.
Let's go with it.
All right. Let's see here. I know Gator's answer to that one.
Pre-answered.
Yeah, you pre-answered. Okay.
Hey, what about this one from Jealous from June 11th? It's a good question to end on.
Go for it.
Question for the show. Time to reflect. What are you thankful for? I know it's kind of cheesy, but it's kind of poignant.
There's a lot I'm thankful for, but one, I know it sounds cheesy, but I'm really thankful for my wife. She puts up with me, but she's definitely my better half. She's my voice of reason and a whole lot of stuff. So I'll definitely go with, her.
Yeah, good answer, man.
Nice. I'm gonna have to say my daughter. I mean, she is, pretty much changed my whole entire world. Just showing me things that I've never, I'm a big softie now. It's the damnedest thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, kids will fucking do that to you. And be fucking weeping at a Disney movie, and you're gonna go there's nothing sad. But it's just, I don't know. It's just she just makes me just be a better person. It's kind of crazy.
No, I get that. You have to be the better person to for her.
Yeah. I remember when my son was born. He was born in 20 minutes, by the way. My wife was in the triage, went in the delivery room, and boom, he was not waiting. And my daughter made up the difference and waited for half the day to be born. When your baby comes out for the first time, the one thing that crosses all the dads' heads or minds is this shit just got real. Because it does get real. You're really an adult now. Because now, your wife can handle herself, but now you have to keep this thing alive and not let it suffer, and then you develop such a love for him. I'm thankful right now that my whole family is, my dad still, by the way, update. I told you my dad was, really, really tired all the time. Mm-hmm. He had this mystery illness. He just went back to, the cancer center, over in Tampa, and they did tests. They took his blood and ran all these tests from Arizona and all these labs across the country that for these mystery illnesses. And you know what they found out? They don't fucking know what is wrong with him. Medicine, folks. Medicine. They have their theories. They think that possibly he got COVID before he got inoculated, and he's what they call a long hauler. You've heard about athletes who had got COVID and now they can't even run to their mailbox. So I'm just grateful. My dad doesn't have cancer. We do know that for sure, but I'm just grateful that everyone is still here, still alive, and doing well. And my kids now have their own places. It's wonderful to see everyone doing well and surviving, and let's hope the rest of 2021 continues to be that way. So, good question, Jealous. I swear your you're older beyond your years sometimes, I think. Great way.
Yeah. Yeah, he was actually, he's posted in there that he's looking to possibly go into the military.
That's what he was saying. He had some questions for us. Anyone had been in the military before, and that's a mature gentleman there, beyond his years, I must admit. Well, hey everybody, if we didn't get to your question, I know we have a lot of questions. We don't just dispose of them like some podcasts do. We actually hang on to them. They're pinned nice and neat in our podcast questions channel in our Discord. So if we didn't get to yours, don't worry. It's still there from when you ask it, however long ago it was. But we just thank the community for sending us great questions. I mean, we don't have content without you guys being curious about us or about what's going on in the game or in life. So thank you for that. All right. What's that, Mr. Fudd?
Guardian Downcast. Guardian Downcast. Yeah, Guardian Downcast. This is an intro. Guardian Downcast. Guardian. Not copyright. Guardian Downcast.
Well, thank you, Mr. Fudd. Appreciate that lively intro every week. Thank you for that. Before we get on to our final segment of the show, this is, like I said, this is where we pick our music for our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist, which you can find on Spotify and on iTunes, by the way. We had a Speakpipe, a very interesting Speakpipe from who we just talked about, Jealous the Kid. And he sent us a Name That Tune Speakpipe. And it was directed to me, but I'm going to open it up to everybody here and see what we think. And we're going to hear it right now.
Hello, everybody. Today is a special challenge for the Gatr. The challenge is name that tune on the synthesizer. Your hint today is the song came out in 1985 and was in the movie The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1993. Here are your notes. So, Gatr, name that tune.
Thank you, Jealous. I got a funny story about this. I tried to cheat. I'm sorry. I did. I was just talking about cheating, right?
Yeah. What kind of person are you?
I opened my Shazam app and I tried to sing this into the Shazam app, and the app said, "Nah, dog, we ain't got nothing for you on that." It's on the tip of my tongue, but I was hoping Baroque might know it.
I know the song, but I don't know the name.
I know the song too, but it was a pop star from the 80s, right? Or the early 90s, I guess.
It's a group, but like it was also a Listerine commercial.
Was it really?
I am pretty sure this was the Listerine commercial because it swings in on the volume. Oh, 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 oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, 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 oh.
I'm sorry, you cut out, man. What was that again?
I don't trust you.
I won't do it again. Sorry, man. I know this. I swear it's on the tip of my tongue, but for the life of me, Jealous. I can't remember what it is, man. I'll just full disclosure. I was not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I never followed them. I know my kids did, but I never really got into that.
They were awesome.
I know.
And their story is actually really, like, the whole thing of how it happened is really interesting. If you want to see it, you can watch it. It's on The Toys That Made Us. It's on Netflix as a series. They have a bunch of them, and they're actually really cool to watch. Like, it has He-Man, and it goes over how the whole thing happened with He-Man and what happened with it, and
I watched that series a long time ago. One
of them was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it went from like a small time comic book that two friends wrote to like the big thing it is now.
Right. It was a monster thing back in the day, but I don't know where my head was back then. 1993. I'm trying to think. I got married in 92, so I was probably a newlywed.
Yeah.
Oh, we know where your head was then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Looking at your wife's feet.
I rest my case.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, my pick on this is I have no idea what the hell it is. I forgot there was even a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 anyway. But I do have a fun fact though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, in honor of our guest here. Do you know who did the voice of Donatello in the first Ninja Turtles movie?
Probably do, but I can't think of it now.
It's going to ruin. Just fast forward over this section if you don't want the answer, by the way, because it's going to ruin it for you.
Here, I'll put a soundbite in right here. Fast forwarding.
Yeah, you're never going to. It's yeah.
I will.
I know a lot of odd movie things, and I'm pretty sure I've read most of it. Like, there's a scene in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first one, that if you look at it right, you can actually see the actor's eyes inside the turtle's mouth. So it's like, oh, damn, kind of thing.
That's funny.
All right, I'm all ears.
Yeah. Corey fucking Feldman.
Feldman did that? Oh,
That's
wow.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
A Lost Boy?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for you.
Wow.
I mean, that's like Alvin and the Chipmunks, the newer versions. It's like Justin Long is like Alvin. You're like, what the hell?
Oh, my God. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's crazy. All right. Let's get on to our song playlist here. Just so you know, we have 730 songs, 52 hours and 23 minutes of music representing all of us and all of our extensive past guests. So if you do want to check that out, it's not the podcast on Spotify. It's the Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify. So look for it there. I always put the links in it's in our Discord channel, and it's also on our website, and it's also in our show notes. So if you want to follow along and see what we add every week, it's pretty cool. We've had a lot of good compliments, I think, Hazel, some of our song picks.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Baroquereaper, I'm all ears, man. What are you going to add this week?
Do you want both, or you want one and then
one at a time, man? However we want to do it.
All right. First, we're going to go with a good classic one I've listened to. I guess you could call it a band. It's a one-man band, but I actually listened to like some of the albums going back and forth to work when I was driving back and forth, and that's Bass Nectar. And I picked Koza Frenzy from the album Koza Frenzy, which, it's just a good, solid song.
I'm just curious.
Pumped.
I think I put a Bass Nectar song in there. Let me just double check. Because I have a Bass Nectar song that's in my list. And I'll look up later. But yeah, dude, when you said Bass Nectar, I said, man, I haven't heard that song. I mean, I haven't heard that group in a long time.
Yeah, he hasn't put anything in a while. But I very much enjoy those albums. They're, especially if you go to work out, great workout music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that was back in the electronic age when electronic music was really hot, like Deadmau5.
This is back when it was like the apex of like, it's still going, but this was back when it was just a giant scene. It was the up and coming everything.
It was. And, I think Deadmau5 set it off because I remember at the Grammys that year, Deadmau5 and Dave Grohl were both on the same stage playing one of their songs. And I was like, this is awesome. Little do we know it faded away, but I still like electronic music, man. Still love it.
That's actually my daughter's favorite music. Like, and my wife's like, she gets that from you. And I'm like, I can't deny this.
I'll take that.
There are worse things you could get from
I was just going to say that.
Honestly, I joke, I'm like, I don't know if she's mine, but like, she's blonde, blue, blonde hair, blue eyes like me. My wife, does not have either of those. She has a lot of facial features like my wife's side of the family, but it's just like her interests and everything are definitely like me. And it's like, yeah, I really can't deny it at this point.
Awesome, man. Can't wait to hear that one.
My other track, it's always timely. It's a good reminder. It's an old classic from the Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want.
How was that not in our playlist already? That was an awesome song. I guess I'm
actually a giant Rolling Stones fan. It's funny because I love like Co's a Friend, Basics Nectar.
Yeah.
But then like I listen to classic old school rock.
I'm telling you, we're cut from the same cloth sometimes in music. My taste varies widely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't put like on my Pandora. You do not put shuffle. Just you cannot put shuffle because it's like you will not understand what's coming out.
I play my playlist for possible picks of the show. My wife's like, all right, I've had enough of this. No more progressive rock. I'm done. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway.
Yeah, there's a reason why she's my favorite.
All right, Hazel. What do you got this week, man?
All right. So, my first pick is one that I have no idea how the hell I found this. So it is The Dead South. So it's a country song. And it's called In Hell, I'll Be in Good Company.
Okay.
I did play a clip of that, and it kind of reminds me of the music from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Okay, yeah, that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of has a little bit of that kind of feel where it's kind of like the older, twangy, really like
folky,
super out there country bumpkin, country stuff. But I actually really like I would love the Oh Brother, We're Out There soundtrack because it's just,
My wife loves that soundtrack. Mm-hmm. She loves that soundtrack.
And that's the thing. I mean, it starts off with a guy and he's whistling. And I'm like, it's always good whenever you hear a song and the guy is like whistling. It's just awesome.
It's different. Yeah. Stands out.
Yep. And then my second song is a song that I have a lot of memories about. Anybody who's seen a movie called Fear will remember this. It's Fade Into You by Mazzy Star.
That's just called High School. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, there is that too. But it was also in a memorable scene in a movie called Fear. So,
roller coaster?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember.
Memorable.
Can't remember that one. It's not coming to me. I'll have to listen to it. I probably will once I listen to it.
Probably not, but yeah.
Probably not, yeah. All right, cool. Good picks, guys. I was listening to my personal song collection, and this little beauty popped up randomly on my playlist while I was in the shower, which, by the way, is the best place to witness something you haven't heard in a while. If you have like a giant playlist like I do on iTunes. And I chose this.
Sorry.
What?
I'm juvenile. I thought that was like a euphemism for something. When you have a giant playlist,
I have a giant playlist that I've always discovered in the shower.
I mean, what I love about it is it's I got it on total
songs just keep spewing out after
you might be right. Anyway, this is an English indie pop band from London. They formed in 2011. 2013, a UK radio DJ that some of our UK listeners might know, Mark Riley. He loved this band so much that he promoted them extensively, and they actually appeared on his BBC Six music show and tons years afterwards. They only have 3 studio albums out, but I chose this song because it's very playful. It kind of reminds me of the Cars style of music back in the 80s. I know. What's the 80s? I get it. Heavy syntho, guitar vibes, that kind of stuff. Fluffy hates the 80s music. I don't know. Every time I say 80s,
and there's a word for that.
What's that?
Wrong.
Good point. But like I said, they only had 3 studio albums. And their song was very much like the Cars, and Cars are probably one of my greatest pop bands of all time. They just were so out there in the 80s. They had such a fresh sound. But anyway, getting back to my song. It's from their 2018 album, and their 3rd album, actually, called Family of Aliens. It's a song, Twisted Heart, and it's from the band Teleman. I got a fun fact as well tonight, Hazel. The name of this band came from an album they saw in a charity shop by composer George Philip Telemann. Fun fact. For my second pick...
is that really fun, though?
It is a fun fact. Yeah, they were in a...
What the fuck is Telemann? Like
It's a
banana?
he's a composer. And it was on an album in a charity shop. Let's just leave it at that. My second
It's
pick...
like going over, do you know the fun fact of how Bono got his name from U2?
Okay, all right.
It's actually short. It's supposed to be Bonovox of O'Connell Street. Yeah. I used to be like a super U2 nerd back in the day.
Remember when U2 actually posted their album on iTunes without anyone's consent? Did you get that?
Yeah, it did. All of a sudden I just woke up and it's on my phone.
Yeah, it's on my phone. I'm like, okay, thank you. And man, there was such an uprising over that because they were like, how dare they put their music on I didn't order this. I'm like, dude, it's free. They're giving you the music for free.
America, like you're complaining about something free? I thought that's like America's favorite F word.
I know.
Second.
Yeah, true.
Nowadays.
Well, my second song tonight was actually from my personal music collection too. Did I tell you about my large iTunes playlist? Anyway,
he's rubbing it in now for sure.
This is one of those songs that just brings me back to memories of when we first moved into our house. We purchased our house in 2004. And do you guys remember? I know you're going to remember, Baroque. I don't know. Hazel may need a little help here. But do you guys remember a little TV show called Rockstar?
Yes.
And Dave Navarro was one of the judges.
Navarro was
Rockstar Supernova.
Yes,
is the one that I saw. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because they went after that was the second one. The first one was Rockstar in Excess.
Right.
Where they were replacing the lead singer for In Excess after he died.
That was such a great show. They had such raw talent. I mean, this is why I still watch Voice and America's Got Talent stuff, because you just find these nuggets of talent out there, and it's just amazing when you witness it for the first time. But Dave Navarro was one of the judges, showing off all his tats on his arm and stuff. And I don't know if you remember, but Jane's Addiction broke up 3 times. And on the 3rd time they broke up, Dave Navarro created a little band with some other buddies of his, actually 2 of his bandmates and of some other great rock artists as well. And they created a song called Why Cry. And I can sing it in my head right now. And it's from the band The Panic Channel. I don't know if any of you guys remember this group. Probably not, but they didn't stick around very long. But this was kind of like I would call it a rebound group for Dave Navarro when he broke up from Jane's Addiction. But it's a great song, man. And I heard it in the shower. I was like, oh man, this. I immediately went through it in my Spotify playlist, and here it is. So. I don't know. It brought me back to memories of when I moved into the house. It brought me back to watching that great show, Rockstar. And that song came out after, you remember the movie Rockstar?
Yep.
That's one of my favorite rock and roll movies of all time. And that's when the Rockstar craze took over America and maybe the world. And that's when these shows started spawning from it. And it was just such a great time to live. To experience that stuff. Anyway, the band actually tagged along with the Rockstar Supernova 28 city tour back then. So, man, I still miss that damn TV show to this day. I don't know what it is. Mrs. Gatr, I gave her the night off. She's been on her school break, her summer break, and I said, honey, don't worry about it. She's starting work back up tomorrow, and I said, don't worry about it. We'll give you a week off. So she took the week off. And Zan, congratulations, by the way, buddy. He is engaged. I don't know if I mentioned this on last week's show, but I think he's a little busy right now, if you know what I mean. So
marriage planning.
Yeah, marriage planning. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. So Zan will be back with us, and he'll give us some more music down the road. So well, thanks, guys. That's another episode in our collection. For our listeners out there, we have 103 other episodes with interviews from gamers all over our community. So take a look at those, especially if you're just finding out about us. And, if you like what you're listening to, do us a favor. Spread the word out there. Hit that share button on your podcast app. I know it's not the most I know on Apple Music, it's really hard to find the share button. They've changed everything around. It's so crazy. But, you know, anything to promote our podcast, if you like what you're listening to and you want others to hear about, you know, maybe our lighter take on Destiny, so to speak, share it. Spread it around to friends or family that you might think might like it. We appreciate it. Mr. Baroquereaper, how can people find you, sir?
You can actually find me all across the interwebs at Baroquereaper.
I love that. I love that catchphrase, man. Hazel, how can people find you, sir?
Anywhere and everywhere. Hazel NT.
Good deal. You can find me on Twitter at Todd the Gatr. Remember, that is Gatr. You can also find me on Steam and PS5 as Gatr. As Gatr, Gatr, all caps, underscores in between. I'm on YouTube as well, Gatr, the same spelling, Guardian Downcast, where we also post our episodes every week now. So check that out if you hang out on YouTube every morning like I do. And you can find our podcast on whatever podcast catcher you use out there. Or you can just go to guardiandowncast.com. You can email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com. And we're on Twitter at Guardian_D_cast for show questions or whatever you want to convey to us. Like I said, guardiandowncast.com. All our contact information is right there.
Hello, and welcome to Scumnest Corner. I'm currently in the fountain at work, scrubbing it with a scrubbing brush. I've got my waders on. And this woman's just stopped me and shouted over to me saying, the work that I'm doing in the park to make it look beautiful is what makes Britain great. And I tell you what, that means a lot, because after this Euro Football Championship loss, all our sort of black players have been racially abused on Twitter and all this social media crap, which is absolutely disgusting. So Britain at the minute is a pile of shit, bunch of racist bastards, if you ask me, and it's making the country on a right downer. So we're all feeling like shit at the minute. But when people give comments like that, it fills your heart again that you're doing something to keep this country great. So I'm playing my little part. People are enjoying what I do. So I'm going to keep it up. I absolutely love it. This fountain is shit high. So I better get going. All right, lads. Love ya. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Continue to be safe out there. And more importantly, take care of one another.
Guardians are measured by their ability to come back from defeat. So stand. Fight!
Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian.
Toddled.
Be excellent to each other.
I was hoping you'd say that. Thanks, man. I was looking forward to you coming on this tonight. I'm sorry I'm a little scatterbrained tonight. I don't know what it is. Too much sun, I think. I don't know. I'm definitely scatterbrained. Sorry about that, man. I mean, when you guys did 150 episodes, I mean, they weren't all perfect, right?
No. There was quite a few, that we remember fondly because they just fell off the train and then it just, kept going.
When I think it was about episode 50 when I first heard of you guys, and I went all the way back to episode 1 because I want to know more about all you guys.
Oh, episode 1 was a train wreck.
Oh, I know, but that was part of the beauty of it. I saw you guys progress as you did more episodes.
We really came into our own. It didn't even take us huge amount of episodes. It was just it took us time to get comfortable talking to each other on a podcast, and then it was fine.
Right.
Started out, we had notes and this and that, and then we just really went to
right, like
your show notes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we'd go to.
Right.
If we had them.
Just an outline, yeah.
Just a few bullet points, this and that, and we'd let the everything just kind of flowed naturally.
Mhm.
And then we had some other topics that if we needed to filler, we could throw it in. Those didn't get used very often because, I mean, we just generally vibed. There was a few guests we had where, like, you could just tell it's like we're working and trying, but it's just you got to work with us.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I love, though, is we never have to pull anything out of you. You're like a pro, man. You know when to interject and when to carry the conversation. And
I jokingly go, like, my friend, like, oh, I was a semi-professional podcaster. And he's like, he's like, really? I'm like, actually, yeah, we kind of were. Just... I mean, we didn't get paid for it, but I mean, we made money enough to sustain the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hosting fees aren't cheap. They're not free. They don't host your podcast just out of the, out of the charity and their kindness of their heart. Yeah. Man, why am I? I'm a mess.
You're having a day.
I am.
He's like, I'm ready to go to bed.
Unfortunately, I'm probably going to be in bed not very long from now. So, hey, man, thanks again for coming on. And
anytime.
Hopefully, we'll have you back again.
Yeah.
Good deal, man. You're always fun to talk to. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I really do. I kind of miss podcasting, and I always like, maybe I should do another one. One of my friends like, maybe I could get like a mic and we could do it. And I'm like, okay, but I don't think he understands. It's like, it's not like you just show up and you talk. Like, there's work involved. Like, okay, here are things that happened this week we got to talk about. Here's the, like, there's
it's dedication. It's dedication.
And an hour-long show might be, 6 hours outside of that show of work.
Prep, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, the one thing you can hold over JC Jesse now is you've been on twice. He's only been on once. Well, technically he has been on twice because he came back for the speedrun episode that I botched so badly the first year. So you guys are tied, technically. But you've done the speedrun twice and he's only done it once.
It's funny because you go back and it's like, I know I always say like, I feel like I was the lucky one because like they let me be part of the journey.
Yeah.
Because I really do I don't feel like I was like the key man. Like I wasn't the big popular guy. I was kind of like he's there. Like I'm like the drummer. We're like, he's the drummer. He's part of the band, but the bassist and the guitar and the lead, they're the cool guys. And he's there too. That's how I felt. But I know Justin didn't feel that way because like I was kind of like second in command because I could keep things running like he could.
Yeah, you carried that show, dude. I mean, you definitely had your part, and you always had the funny quips.
Justin was always like, I'd go back and listen, and you'd say something in the background that I missed during the show that I would be dying from. I'm like,
exactly, that's the stuff we hear. This is the point in the show, Mr. Baroquereaper. See what I mean? Toward the end of the show?
Baroquereaper? Yeah.
Baroquereaper?
Hey, at least you got the word Baroque right. You know how many people misspell that one?
Hey, man.
Or say it wrong?
Man, are you the reefer man? Anyway.
No, he's the telly man.